somewhere inside haunting, like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe. There's a reason I can feel my heart stop beating, and the air gets tough just breathing. I'm alone, but I'm still feeling like someone's with me. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me, like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there.
To enter our first one of this Asian Games qualifier.
Oh, going with both. I mean, both of them, the first pick for both. I mean, why not at this point? We were saying, hey, let the birds out of the cage, and we're seeing it, right? Across all the different roles, and going with both of them to kind of go into game two. Pretty interesting picks here.
I think you're going to like this, Holler, because Xuanzhe is going to be very interesting on how the gameplay might be a little bit similar towards Wukong, because the damage is going to be all focused on critical. So, you know what? More or less the same.
I'm for it. I'm for it. Let's see it exactly. And as we go into this game, any final thoughts before we go in?
Final thoughts, I want to see this transfer pick shine once again. Back-to-back first debut picks of the jungle with more assassin picks here coming in from Einol. He is trying to go out with a bang.
With a bang indeed, and this is going to be the second game between both of these teams. I'm pretty sure India is on fire right now, and they're going to try to prove to us once more how they can perform very well with Mulan and Xuanzhe and Xiao. It's going to be quite fun. Very fun indeed.
Yeah, it definitely will be fun here, but the lineup, okay. When you're talking about the Neza, you've got the battlefield command from Anas. It's like the delivery system, right? Two people right on top of you. That's the initiation that you're looking for. The problem, though, is that if you're looking kind of at Faris and Yusef, well, both kind of immobile, not as fast. So the synchronization of the team fight, when they do happen, when he does try to go for that launch, you got to be on point, right? You cannot be slow, you can't be early, you got to be right on time.
Yeah, you can't go one by one. I totally agree with you. But again, exactly like what happened in the previous game, India and KSA, both of them actually traded their blue buff. Azure Golem is going to be swapped, but it seems like he's going to get caught here. Stun has been used by Zhangfei. They're going to go in.
I am sorry, my muted Babu Log. I'm sorry.
Might go down right now. He might overextend just a little bit, not expecting there's going to be a cavalry arriving to back up India at the bottom lane.
Oh, I know. Just styling on all the heroes that we haven't seen. Again, just letting the man play those, like, the heroes that we, again, haven't seen, right? That hook was perfect. And the fact that Faris is in a bad spot, I mean, it was just the
Opening
perfect
easy है,
setup.
हाँ,
And again,
opening तो
why
easy है,
you
इनको
guys
हराया ना
are-
पहले भी.
They're in the driver's seat here.
KSA कल भी तो हार दी, बहुत बुरा हार दी कल भी KSA.
Execute, and he will try to recall first. But again, Xuanzhe's skill set is really confusing
Charge
sometimes to
headphone
people who
and
haven't seen
the
it
cost.
before, for sure. He's
Price
going to be able
cost,
to
easier,
sort of
the
hook
mic
and
setup
like
specs.
throw them
Cost
to his
price.
back.
मतलब मेरे
make
setup का
sure
पूछो
that
क्या
he
cost
hits
price?
them.
किसका price आपको
But
जानना
the
mic
damage
and
actually
headphone
comes
का?
from basic attack, which
If you're
hurts
building a new
lot.
setup, तो I think
And
10,000
that's
is
just
more
another
than
hook,
enough.
right? Just setting
आपको
it
एक
up,
अच्छा
just
mic और
out
एक
of
अच्छा
control.
headphone मिला था
Mohammed
सामने.
just in a bad spot, gets hooked
Decent start के
again.
लिए.
I
ओ
know
भाई मारा
playing
2-0,
with it.
3-0 बहुत बढ़िया.
The damage is a lot, and we can see
इस वाली game में
Faris,
थोड़ा confident
he's
तो लग
not
रहा है.
ready yet. He doesn't have his Umbrella burst. He's still at level 4. But look at Harsh. Harsh is still ready to steal this jungle, but he did not manage to do so. Ahmed
इस वाली में थोड़ा confident
managed
लग
to
रहा है.
land the last hit.
Actually, Faris is not level
Messi.
4, so he's not able to use the ult, even with the madness that he has.
Angela खेल रहा है
So
काम
they're going to need it soon, but he doesn't even have it at this moment.
They're all
भाई
going up
यही
at
वाली
the
commitment
Azure
पहले
Golem.
मैं
They're
चाहता
trying
कि हाँ
to
टीम
force
से आए
it
भाई
out.
घुस के
No,
एकदम
they're
farm
not.
चोरी
They're
करने
gonna
ट्राई
be
कर रहे
much
हैं.
safer than that. With the 2,000
We
gold
wanted
lead,
this, we wanted this, we
is
needed this.
quite early for India.
I mean, they just hit the 3-minute mark, up about 2.5k. Really sets up with Einol. Like, his ability to farm,
advantage
ability
है हम
to
पे.
execute and to find players, and they found
अच्छी
Yusuf in
goal
the
advantage
mid
है
lane.
उसकी.
This is looking disastrous for KSA.
Yusuf is gonna lose his hero in a bit, and I think it's gonna be quite problematic for them. This is not the first time that the mid lane of KSA is gonna go down. Previously it was Anas, but right now Anas has changed his role, playing at Clash lane. He's gonna try to run away. Ashish
Oh, उसने
is
hook डाल के
gonna
खींचा.
try to pull him back, but the Battlefield Command actually saved him.
Yeah, it definitely did save him. I mean, that's one way to deal with the hook, but a way Einol was able to kind of get that initial hook, now you're threatening. Look at, he's just diving the back line.
Yeah, he's really going all in, no problem whatsoever. Mohamed is still trying to protect his teammate, but Einol is so angry. Anas is going to go down as well. Mohamed almost got hooked, but he is all right.
Oh my gosh, I know how you like a good hooker, Adam. And I mean, Einol's just been on point, just hitting him time and time again. The only one he didn't get was that last one because, again, the speed, that just barely out of range. I mean, but Einol's completely styling here.
Yeah, they're going to go to Titan right now. Titan is going to be started by Einol, definitely. But Einol's HP is actually quite low. And Fari is not going to do anything because it's a bit too risky, especially when there's 4,000 gold difference. But we haven't seen any movement coming in from Mohamed.
Yeah, we haven't yet, because he hasn't had that space to really kind of, you know, feel comfortable enough to go in. Einol's at half, though.
भाई व्हाट्सएप देख लिया आज न्यू अपडेट आया है न्यू वीडियोस आए हैं न्यू अपडेट खेला है और नहीं अब तक न्यू अपडेट नहीं खेला है अपडेट नहीं किया अभी
He's actually building a full physical item, so this is why he is extremely
भाई गया टावर कमिट कर दिया बहुत अच्छे
and I'm not sure if this is the best decision that he has.
It doesn't look like that. Einol has almost all the buffs as well, so his ability to just take them down. Ashish, even in the top lane, getting that solo onto Anas. This is looking rough. KSA right now, they have 1 kill to their name, but mainly they've lost their jungle and falling way behind as they're down 5k.
Extremely way behind for sure. How are they gonna try to win this out? Ahmed needs to farm as much as he can, but how can he farm when Ashish is all over him all the time and they're gonna try to get him, but Ashish is gonna be able to run away with no problem whatsoever.
Oh, that was one where they actually had him in a good spot, but then Mohamed tried to go for the Skyfall way too late.
Damage is quite high. Faris is still okay. He missed to run away, but look at Ashish! Oh, he missed his first kill. He wanted to slash, but look at this. A very good Raging Sea hitting both of them, and Anas cannot help him at all.
Cannot help at all. And I mean, this is where the wheels kind of falling off, right? Mohamed, he wants to be aggressive. He wants to be skyfalling your back line, but he gets getting jumped. And he doesn't really, I mean, he's pretty much a melee creep just trying to jungle at this point because he's not able to get anything going. He is so far behind. I mean, look at the goal.
निखिल भाई मालकिन आपको मैसेज करेंगी एक बार उनको रिप्लाई कर दीजिएगा वो आपको क्लिप्स और ब्लॉक निकाल कर देंगे
A very high damage coming in from them.
इजी विन है हाँ भाई तो इजी विन है टावर तो तोड़ दिया हमने 10 मिनट से पहले खत्म कर देंगे कैसे का बहुत बुरे हाल है भाई इंडिया को पहला विन मिलने वाला गाइस फाइनली इंडिया इज विनिंग फर्स्ट विन फॉर इंडिया भाई
terrible decision to go and taking the bottom T3 here. India right now just like taking over this game.
Yeah, they're
almost won भाई almost won तो बचा नहीं कुछ के पास
area still trying to see if this is a good chance, this is a good time for us to go in or not, but it seems like they're going to play it safe.
भाई आपको समझ नहीं आई तो इसलिए थोड़ी गेम खराब हो गई आपको समझ नहीं आई तो गेम खराब थोड़ी हुई है आप बोलो कि आप समझ नहीं पाए आप बोले आपका आईक्यू कम है थोड़ा सा आप ये मानिए आप ये मानिए आप कौन सी गेम्स खेलते हैं बताइए अभी पता चल जाएगा
just like waiting because it's like somebody, I mean it's wide open
and winning game base hope so भाई we hope so
somebody has to rotate so
win my boys भाई जीत सकते हैं जीत सकते हैं ऑलमोस्ट जीत ही गए हैं
incredibly well. This positioning is amazing but
क्रिस्टल तक पहुंच गए टावर्स तोड़ दिए अरे वो इतना अंदर क्यों चल गया
connect Ashish goes down. We're still waiting for Akash to actually start the fight but they did not manage to do so because he was overextending for sure.
चलो बढ़िया बॉक्स उठा लिए पिटेंगे पिटेंगे दोनों पिटेंगे
trash talking because here we go the
अरे यार उसने जैंग नेट को दिया
Umbrella Opus is very good and he seems like they're
मारना मार दिया तभी बहुत बढ़िया बहुत डैमेज किया लापू लापू का वो भी मारा स्ट्राइक
so good.
बहुत अच्छा
Double strike has been done, triple strike in fact. They're going to destroy the high ground tower and I'm not surprised that they're going to be trying to destroy all the way into the crystal. No one's going to come out in time. Still waiting for the minion who has been slowed by the debuff coming from the tower and the crystal will be destroyed by India.
लापू लापू के टाइम कीपनेस पे खेल गए मिनियन भी आने दिया ओवरकम हां ओवरकम तो जीत गए ना भाई फाइनली हैप्पीनेस है जीतने कुछ विक्ट्री भाई फाइनली भाई फाइनली एक पूरा
A very good way of starting out the tournament coming in for the side of Team India here. Yes, they do not make
finally
the main event of the Asian Games, but the way that they showcase that they have the actual skills, the commitment, the practice is something to be respectful of going into the future of the HOK careers.
Yeah, I think India really showed and shined in this one, right? I think that if you're looking at a team that's like, okay, how can we show up? how can we ensure that, you know, we make a name for ourselves? That's the way to do it. India right now, they looked phenomenal in that series.
Very, very phenomenal for sure. And it seems like they really do know what they're doing. They can play super, super well. They've proven to the world that they know what they're doing, and all they have to do is just polish a little bit more.
Yeah, just polish it a little bit more, have more games, have more time, have more experience here. So the Asian Games have concluded coming in for Team India. The India standing with a 1-win and 3-loss in their respective group.
Yeah, go out on a high. And I think that that's best case scenario for India here, especially after the first 3 series for them. But being able to do it against KSA and to do it in that way, I mean, it's got to be nothing but, you know, a huge confidence boost for this team moving forward.
For sure, for sure. And there's a lot of things that KSA needs to learn as well, such as maybe itemization that is much more suitable for certain heroes and such. I think they are on the right track as well. There's something wrong with what they're doing right now. But of course, don't be discouraged. There's a long way to go. We are all still fresh here.
Yeah, no one knows how to fly on their first day, right? We can't fly as humans here, but you can't run on your first day here. So when you start off HOK, it's like you're starting off as a baby trying to walk or trying to run. These are just the baby steps that KSA and Team India will be having here. Unfortunately, both teams coming in for KSA and also India won't be making it to the main event. But this is not the only chance. There's more to come.
Yeah. If it makes the KSA fans any better, I'm still a baby in this game as well. So I think that we're all kind of in that boat. Well, no, not you guys. You guys are actually pretty good at this game. But I do think that, you know, there's always 1,000 things that you could do better.
But yes, guys,
be very honest. And I think
India is not making it to the main event,
which is
but
almost
at least,
impossible.
you know,
but everybody will strive for that.
Trust me, even the best team in the world keep on saying that there's still a lot for them to learn. So what about us, right? So I'm pretty sure that everyone is learning at their own pace. And you know what? Just take your time and do it in your own way, because different people have different style of learning and catching up.
As long as you're committing the practice, committing the learning curve, and you're using your time wisely into learning about anything, right? HOK, life itself, a new skill, you will always be rewarded at the end of the day, because that's just how life is. You have to commit something to gain something.
Okay, but I'm afraid of commitment, so, you know, I'm just gonna ride it out.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're not. But I mean, look, KSA, I think in terms of just like the growth, I think that they like more experience, more reps, definitely playing with one another, just like huddle in and, you know, for the next like 3 months, just lock yourself in a room, so to speak, and then just play this game because you're only going to improve from here on out.
I agree. It's all about putting those hours in, and we call it practice. Long story short, is practice. So they have to practice as much as they can, for sure, for anyone to actually improve on anything, because the reaction, the timing, subconsciously memorizing the timing of every hero's skill and common skills as well, that's very important.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, right? As you play more and more and more, sometimes there's different learners. Some people will actually actively remember flash timers or like specific spell timers, like the battlefield command coming from Liu Bang, or like the Holy's Burning Sun arrow. Those are important timers that could affect the game, or even to a more critical level coming in from, let's say, the other regions who has a pro league. They start memorizing the buff respawn timer after taking it down, so they can better plan invasions or counter plays coming in for the team to build that goal league here. So you gotta learn these sort of things to better improve your experience in Honor of Kings.
I agree. And the fact that some of those professional players, by the way, how do they know which buff the enemy jungle is taking is by opening up the scoreboard, checking their gold. If their gold is this much, oh, they're at the red buff. If their gold is this much, oh, they're at the blue buff. So that is just next level. I cannot catch to that level.
Oh yeah.
But that's how deep the game is, right? Most teams, you'll hear them every 30 seconds, there'll be like a timer, like somebody just making calls, because the movements revolve around what time it is in the game, right? Especially in the early game when things are very fixed. You know when the minions are going out, you know when the tyrant is going to spawn. You have these things set up. So everything revolves around these timers.
And timers such as the first objective in the game. How do you push the mid wave? Do you go for the invade? Do you go for the fire in the bot lane, or do you go and help your Clash lane counter out some camps from the enemy top side? River Sprite, respawn timers, all these are really important in Honor of Kings, and I believe it should be vastly picked up by not only pro players, but also regular players trying to go pro,
not going by losing all the
games.
And honestly, the damage coming out from Ahmed is actually quite a lot. He was trying to defend himself all alone just now. Again, the chance for him to actually do a lot of damage output was there, and he actually managed to do so.
Yeah, and I mean, this full grab, full control, you kind of saw what was happening, right? Even when India was like winning, like Einol, with the way he was able to just ambush people, it seemed like he can play almost any hero and he would have had an impact because he was always in the back lines, setting it up. He had so many good plays because, again, he's just so aggressive and understands the hero.
Maybe it's a mentality thing before this for Team India. It's like they're too locked by their pressure. It's like that maybe it's like a team pressure, a goal pressure that they have on themselves to actually perform good in their first quarter, which made them more, I wouldn't say scared. Scared is not the word. More limited or restricted in their own gameplay.
Yeah, I understand. And sometimes maybe this also affects in the different places as well. You know, let's say an example. They were practicing other heroes. They were very comfortable with Chuancha, with Wukong from the India side. But when they arrive here in Malaysia and they realize, hey, wait a minute, everyone else is using different sets of heroes, different metas. Maybe we shouldn't be using our hero. Maybe we should try something similar to them. So that kind of pressure also plays a huge role. Maybe it's affecting me in a bad way.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell that they didn't seem like they were too familiar with some of these heroes. It's one thing to play meta once, but you got to be 100% comfortable. I know that you rightly pointed that out, Adam, in the pregame to game 2. That is that thing where you can't just play meta heroes if you don't know how. You don't know the intricacies of that hero, and you get caught out because of it.
And these replays coming in from Einol, just casually landing those hooks and flipping the enemy team going into his own team, is giving me PTSD from all the peak tournament transfer players I have been meeting here, and I don't like it. But he's definitely a master of this pick, and he is playing really, really well to bring his team to a comfortable lead from start to finish.
There's always that one Chuancha that is just so painful. That plays very well, and usually we see a lot of them from Vietnam, especially. I'm not sure why, but this is such a very good
करोगे क्या? नहीं मेरे भाई, I'll be on the desk. मैं पंजाबी desk में I will not be able to.
I think they could do.
Pineapple खाओगे? हाँ यार, खिलाओगे तो
Ashish did well. I mean, he died on this one, so it's a little bit of a low light for him, but he had a lot of impact. I mean, he was able to kind of just solo. They're taking fights 4 versus 5 because they're so far. They're able to kind of dissect the team whenever they're jumping in, nice 2-man stun. Everything just really setting up for India.
जीत गए, yes, एक जीते हम मैम.
For Team India, collecting up and picking up their first win of the Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for
निखिल ने आपको मैसेज किया मैम.
There we go. Back-to-back MVP performance coming in from Einol. He's confident and he is bringing in the heat.
28.9% damage coming in from him. I think Einol
Anul
is a person who is so comfortable with a basic attack based
next
hero,
Death Note यार next शाम में देखते हैं भाई.
Both really focused.
So I'll tell you, while we do that stream जो हमने की थी वो वाली, तो उससे होता क्या है मैं आपको बता दूं कि अब हम जब नेक्स्ट टाइम वाली स्ट्रीम कर रहे होंगे, हमें एक चीज़ ये करनी है कि हम रेवेन्यू ऑफ करके करेंगे, क्योंकि उस पर रेवेन्यू नहीं बन सकता. बेसिकली आई विल नॉट मेक एनी मनी ऑन इट, बट ठीक है, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, पैसे नहीं कमाने भाई. मेरे को तो वैसे भी देखना ही था, तुम लोगों के साथ देखूंगा बैठ के. तो हम किक को दिक्कत इससे हो गई भाई तुमने रेवेन्यू कैसे बना लिया उस पर. तो मैं बोला ठीक है भाई चिल करो, अगली बार स्ट्रीम ऑफ कर देंगे, मतलब रेवेन्यू ऑफ करके स्ट्रीम कर लूँगा भाई. नहीं चाहिए तुम्हारे पैसे, रखो अपनी चिल्लर. बट मैं देखूंगा तो डेथ नोट साथ भाई. मुझे ये एक्सपेक्ट मत करो कि मैं डेथ नोट की वॉच पार्टी नहीं करने वाला. मैं करूंगा तो हूँ ही वॉच पार्टी डेथ नोट की, चाहे तुम्हें जो बोलना है बोल लो. तो एकदम मेरा वो हो गया कि तुम्हें जो बोलना है बोलो, मैं तो करूंगा ही. थोड़ा मेरे अंदर का वो आ गया, समझ रहे हो, दिमाग खराब वाला सीन कि करूंगा ही करूंगा, ऐसा ये आ गया था मेरे अंदर.
But again, it's more about the
next match is last match होगा ना अब तो.
I agree, and at least they actually show a showcase of what a good hero could be as long as you know how to use it. That's the most important thing. Knowing how to perform at maximum capability of a hero is what makes you a very good hero user.
Yeah, be efficient, master the heroes, know the tricks,
right.
Make sure that honestly, you make it a viable pick. Those are things that you need to be considering when playing a specific hero in honor of Kings, and let alone
a co-caster. This man is here to control the desk as a caster, ठीक है, and the man in the center is the host भाई. वो है crazy बंदा. ये भाई, I love his vibe भाई, crazy बंदा ये.
Einol can play, right? All their guys
I love
need to
this
step
guy.
up,
Correct.
Right? I
Jokes
think that
मारता है, chill
this is
करता
gonna
है.
be it's a
He's
team
the show
effort.
controller.
We need to ensure that everybody is able to step up because Idol's not gonna have a
Music
great
for भाई
team all
no
the
idea. अभी
time.
तो इंडिया का
So
कुछ
you
नहीं
need
है.
other people to kind of really just
Top 3 Death
carry this
Note.
team as well.
It's a team effort
Top
when it
3
comes
तो
to
डालूंगा Death
competitive
Note
and
को.
also ranked games. You need to make sure that everyone is on point and picking up the slack for one another. But let's do
Death
check
Note
out
की
the
भी एक
winners
skin ला दो यार,
interview
HOK वालों.
coming in from India's representative with Mara on the stage. Take it away, Mara.
Take it away, Mara. Mara
We're here
Chagi.
with Anil from Team India. Congratulations.
Here with
on
who?
your-
Here with who?
We're here with Anil from Team India.
Hello?
Congratulations on your first win and
Chat में sad read कर ली भाई.
MVP for
कहा तो
game number
पता नहीं है
1.
scene भाई.
What we noticed was something different from Team India. Normally, you guys play defensively, and today you were very aggressive.
Yeah, because this is the first time we had a lead in the game. Like in the entire tournament, we had a lead. First time we had a lead in the early game, so we just tried to capitalize on that and try to snowball off that.
And how does it feel to finish strong for your last match, getting that W for
So
Team
गई है ना
India?
आज SL
I
गई
think
है. Sure.
everyone's confidence
Win idea.
got boosted after the first game, which we really needed. Everyone was a
हो
little
गया
bit
अपना
depressed
बस अब.
since
Nice
we
art
came
भाई,
in a
क्या कह
single
रहे हो?
game in this entire tournament. So yeah, I hope we all grow from this and perform better in the future tournaments.
And we hope to see you in the future tournaments as well.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to everybody watching at home and to all the regions that's looking at Team India?
We are at a very early stage, so just don't count us out yet. We'll try to improve and hopefully be much better in the next tournament.
And that's what
Good,
counts.
good.
Yeah.
We hope to see you again in the future tournaments. Once again, what matters is that you finish strong to get this W. Thank you so much for participating in this tournament.
you.
And now we're going to head back to our casters. Lead the gorge.
Thank you, Ainul, and also Mara for the interview there. You can definitely
Ainul.
see, I would say that it's a bit bittersweet coming in from Ainul. He knows that he could have done better, but it's competition that counts, you know? You don't
Yeah.
get many chances. When you get the chance, the opportunity, you gotta grasp it firm. So for them, it's back to the drawing
हम
board.
बाहर हो
It's
गए,
back
yes
to
भाई,
the
हम बाहर हो
grind
गए, but
stage.
ठीक है.
Make sure that all 5 players are
इंडिया का हो
up
गया.
and available,
अरे भाई.
and they can get that win next time. Not
ठीक है
just
यार,
one
मतलब
win,
I still
there's
believe
always
यार कि
a
मतलब
chance
at least
for
we were
them.
there at the
I
big
think India
stage. हमने
very
perform
proud
किया,
of
we
the
learned.
results they had, being able to pull that
It's a
victory
very new
out.
game for
They
us
were
भाई.
able
मतलब
to
you
do
need
it
to
on
learn,
stage
understand
in
this
front of
also.
everyone, the
It's a new
international
stage for us also. We are
and
learning.
It's a great
So, yeah.
opportunity for them to kind of further
Team
grow
India.
from this. The
Hello, bhai,
experience,
hello.
Again, playing different metas. It's not easy, and again, just being thrust out there where you have to kind of, evolve on the spot. It's incredibly
हाँ हाँ
tough for a
वो
team.
I agree.
जर्सी वाला मिल गया ना
Not
आपको
easy
पहले
thing
दो
to
चीज
do.
और
The
दूसरा जो
pressure,
वंशर वाला आप कह रहे हो वो
knowing
हाँ
that
नो
a lot
तभी
of
तो उसको
people
अपन
at
उसमें डालेंगे ना
home are
क्या कहते हैं
watching, for them and rooting for them
trial
and
पे.
not knowing whether or not they're gonna make it properly or not. But in the end, they did their best. They tried their best, and it seems they're gonna be looking at our
ये देखना
standings
WhatsApp पे.
first because that was India's last match.
हाँ
Correct.
बताओ
With
कौन सी
that
देखनी
game
है
down,
भाई
India
आज वाली
will
देख लो
now help to
आज
close
वाली
the
देखो उस पे
After
आपको मिल जाएगा
completing
YouTube पे
Group A1, their upcoming match, they are sent
We'll find
directly
clips from every
into
stream,
the main
बाबे.
event with a
अपन
3-0
हर stream में कुछ ना
overall
कुछ
win and
करते हैं
loss,
मस्ती.
with their final opponents being Indonesia here. And Uzbekistan and Pakistan are currently tied up with Group B. We can see that Myanmar is sitting comfortably, and also same situation, Philippines directly sent into the main event. Nepal and also Kyrgyzstan might have to fight for
राउडी
the
भाई आप
final
stream पे हो
spot.
क्या सुनो मैं
And
बताता हूँ
looking
एक
into
चीज
Group C, this is where
ग्रुप ए में क्या क्या हुआ भाई फिलीपींस 3-0 और पाकिस्तान 3-4 4 गेम खेले एक भी नहीं हारे हैं भाई अच्छा वो मैचेस यहाँ पे गेम के यहाँ पर बताया मैचेस यहाँ पे है फिलीपीन भी 3 मैच जीती एक भी नहीं हारे ये भी नहीं हारे एक भी म्यांमार भी एक भी नहीं हारी अरब तीनों हार गए मंगोलिया भी तीनों हार गई सऊदी भी तीनों हार गई इंडिया एक जीती 3 हारी ठीक है भाई पाकिस्तान इज आल्सो देयर एक जीते 2 हारे
and Saudi Arabia resides. With their losses, with their wins coming in from 4th and 5th, they will be out of the contention going in for last chance stage or even the upcoming top 1, top 2 that gets invited directly here. So for Group C,
the 4-5 groups
shape,
hट जाएंगे.
yeah. Laos, Vietnam, Kazakhstan, they are fighting for first and second. Then the loser out of those 3 teams will be going in for that last chance stage later on. And finally in Group D, with the minimal games happening right now, Hong Kong, China, and also Republic of Korea is sitting comfortably with Syria in the middle zone. Singapore and Sri Lanka are currently at 4th and 5th, but only play 1 game. So more of the games will be shape-shifting Group D later on in towards today, with the final series looking over to Hong Kong, China, and Syria after this.
Yeah, it's been so long since we've seen some of the teams from Group D.
Correct.
It seems like everything has been pushed towards the end, which I mean,
एक जीत गए, but I'm still out of the tournament.
Because they get to see what other groups are doing in terms of meta. I don't know if it's going to completely change the way that they've been picking because, you know, Hong Kong, China, Republic of Korea, like, you know, those 2 teams I would say are kind of set in. It comes back to Syria, Singapore, and Sri Lanka to kind of really to somehow defend against these 2 titans here.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it might affect them in terms of what heroes they're going to be picking, how they're going to be playing, because definitely the entire team is going to be watching all the games from Group A, Group B, Group C. A lot of things to learn from everyone else for sure. So I'm not surprised if they would turn out different than the last time that we saw them.
This is what we talk about, like the cultural exchange out of the game and meta exchange in the game between some of these teams. You learn, you lose, you win, you still learn. So coming in for all these entire groupings here, I do think that Group C looks the most mature thus far. You can definitely identify the first 3 teams that's going to be going to the main event or going to the last chance stage. Now, coming into the final series of the day, we will be having Syria going up against Hong Kong, China.
Wow, it's gonna be
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka and Hong Kong, China. Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting match after this because this is probably the #1 in the standing and probably one of the last ones in the standing as well.
One or last one
difference for sure. But we do know that Sri Lanka is also still trying their best, trying to learn something new, and maybe this is the time for them to try things out and experience the best of the best inside the game itself.
Yeah, Hong Kong, China, definitely the favorite in Group D. I think that there was a lot of pro play. These are guys that are very well experienced. I mean,
pro players banati hai bhai.
You know, Sri Lanka's on the bottom, but they've only played 1 game, right?
Yeah.
Let's not discount them. I think that, you know, they still have a chance at the end of the day, as do any of the teams here. But I think Hong Kong, China right now, it looks like they might just be too strong.
Well, there's still more time to actually figure out.
सिंगापुर और चाइना में तो भाई मतलब सिखाते हैं ना यार बचपन से गेम यार वहाँ पे तो esports है भी उतना तगड़ा.
Because for me, you can talk about it on paper, like we all know, like, okay, Hong Kong, China, maybe they look the best in the group for itself alongside the Republic of Korea and maybe Singapore coming on. But for me, it's like, if it never happened before or it hasn't happened in game, you can't really say it's 100%. Maybe it's 99%, but it's never 100%.
Yeah. Definitely not.
Yeah, because
not Kings.
Yeah,
we did see on how Hong Kong, China actually has some of the weaknesses as well exposed yesterday. Maybe Sri Lanka saw that as well, and they can try to exploit that. So it all depends on how they're gonna execute this. It's gonna be hard, sure. Everyone's gonna be quite difficult.
आंखें मीचते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा मेरे जैसे. मैं भी करता हूँ ऐसे.
I'm pretty sure they can try to figure something out.
but you know what you can try out? You can try out the iQOO 15R, which is our tournament official phone coming in. Come for iQOO for this Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for Honor of Kings. Thank you so much, iQOO, for sponsoring this phone, allowing our players to practice and play on the stage seamlessly and smoothly.
On stage and just, again, being able to do it. We've had, like, very smooth 5 days already, right? And we're going into the 5th series of the day, and it seems like everything's kind of been in motion, but this is that moment, right? If Sri Lanka are going to make any sort of upset, to go in, to take down Hong Kong, China, I think that would be amazing for them in terms of confidence and being able to make it to the main event.
Even if it doesn't work
हाँ भैया पहुँच गए क्या?
right? They can still learn a lot from Hong Kong, China because
कहाँ पे खड़े भैया आप? गुरु कृपा के सामने क्या?
So they still have
भाई गुरु कृपा मत आइए आगे वाली रोड पे ना मेन रोड पे आइए ब्रिज राजविला पे
from being at the bottom too.
ब्रिज राजविला मेन रोड पे उससे एक गली आगे बस मेन रोड है ना ब्रिज राजविला उस पे आ जाइए.
You can talk all you want, you can say power of
हाँ जी ब्रिज राजविला आ
like to win
एक गली
in
आगे
honor
बस.
of Kings, just like the players here. But we need to take a break before we bring you the final match of day 5 featuring
हर
Sri
बार अब
Lanka
तक
and Hong Kong, China.
भूल
See you
जाता हूँ
later.
चेंज करना. हर बार वही लोकेशन हर बार गाइस. अपना ज़ेप्टो आ गया भाई कोप करना कि अपनी कोप ठंडी आई हो बस उम्मीद करो कि कोप ठंडी आई हो. फिर अपन बैक करके इंडिया का मैच देखेंगे भाई कि क्या हुआ था, कैसे जीते अपन। तो वो बहुत ज़रूरी है भाई देखना कैसे जीते हैं आखिर अपन कि नहीं। वहाँ बीच में कोचेज लग रहे समझा रहे हैं। ये वॉच पार्टी करेगा, एप्लीकेशन भरा है क्राफ्टिंग का। अच्छा बढ़िया भाई, बढ़िया बात है। तो और करेंगे तो वॉच पार्टी मज़ा आएगा भाई, देखते हैं। हाँ हम ऑर्डर लेके भाई।
Who will be the next to shine on the Asian Games stage? Contestants fight for
भाई जेप्टो वाले भैया तो आई नहीं, भैया ने हमारा काट दिया, आई नहीं। कैंप पे मॉन्स्टर खत्म कर दी क्या? अरे वो तो बहुत पहले हो गई थी, पता महीने भर पहले खत्म हो गई थी मॉन्स्टर। भाई मुझे इंडिया का मैच दिखाओ पहला ला। हाँ तो नेपाल का मैच है, इंडिया का दिखाओ फर्स्ट मैच। ड्राफ्टिंग फेज कहाँ है?
Inish, Ainul, Harsh, Ayush.
ये आए क्यों नहीं? हेलो, हाँ भैया आ गया ब्रिज आजूला पे?
जी सर भूल गया।
हाँ एक सेकंड आ रहा हूँ। भाइयों हमारा ऑर्डर आ गया। हमारा ऑर्डर आ गया।
And Akshaj for all five. We've seen them time and time again. Harsh has been made some serious plays, getting a stolen Tempest Dragon, has been able to pick that up. But I know also has been the guy.
He has been the main guy coming in, right?
साथ में दही पापड़ी,
guy that always plays
और साथ में
high level mechanic heroes like
Indian spice mix bingo.
So Ayush and Ainul, they are both really flexible in that sense. But for me, I will want them to grow further as a player by specializing in their role, becoming this, I wouldn't say perfect player, but flexible player that is able to have a deep and diverse playstyle and hero pool.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see the lineup coming in from Saudi Arabia. We have Faris, Anas, Muath, Ahmed, and Mohammed.
And for this specific roster, right, coming in for the Southern Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed and also Faris between each other. Sometimes Faris will go to the roamer role and Mohammed will go into the clash name role.
Yes, this is why they are very well prepared, and we do know that they always change around their roles because they want to see what's the best way to put it, what's the best way, what's the most effective way for their players.
Yeah, but I mean, kind of to your point when you're pointing out with like I know just like lacking in a role, I think that it would help them long term if they were also able to lock it in Saudi Arabia. So that we know exactly what you have, so that you're consistent. Changing things up can add a little bit of turmoil to a team.
Yeah, this is the exact thing that I want to point out, right? Whereby if you're consistently swapping roles left and right, yes, it proves that you're flexible, but in terms of the overall specific role mastery against your opponent who day and night trains in the same role, it's slightly different because it may not match up to the same level here. Maybe you
कम व्यूज वाले गेम होते हैं, how do they sustain? इंडिया में कम व्यूज है ना भाई, इंडिया के बाहर तो है ही कंपटीशन और पैसा बहुत होता है, that's why they sustain.
Slowly coming out to be a focal point for both teams.
I agree. It's definitely gonna affect you a lot in the
आपको
long
समझना
run
पड़ेगा आप और
because
मैं नहीं देख रहे का मतलब ये थोड़ी है
you
कि गेम नहीं
collect
चल रही है
that experience accumulatively
अभी मैं जैसे
enough to go against someone who is
WWE नहीं देखता, but इसका मतलब ये थोड़ी कि नहीं चलती है, कितनी चलती है?
Again, probably maybe still very early on for them. They still trying to see if okay, this guy's attitude. This
जैसे
guy's
there's a game जो
gameplay,
इंडिया में
this
decent
guy's
कर रही है, but Brazil side में वो game बहुत चलती है.
best to be playing at that specific role, or maybe we should move him around. Maybe
जो इंडियन ऑडियंस है वो ब्राजील के प्लेयर्स को देखती है, सीखती है
These
उनसे.
are our most banned heroes in the Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for Honor.
Dahlia,
So
Fire
far,
Ninja.
has been the top ban.
Guanyu को सबसे ज़्यादा ban किया है.
Count, and then it comes down to Guanyu and also the Dahlia. Hence, we don't see much Dahlia nowadays.
Yeah, it's completely
Netflix crazy भाई, तब तो कोई ban भी नहीं करा
The
सकता.
Dahlia one is definitely more about the general strategy. Mai is about tempo. Guanyu is about that game-changing team fight abilities that he has. So again, very good in terms of having those 3 bans because they can literally change this game here.
the pattern of these heroes that's being banned is always heroes that are
Lucy,
annoying
it
in
doesn't know
general,
what time
because
है.
it's very hard to deal with a fast
चलो भाई bans दिखाओ भाई, fix the bans दिखाओ.
kind of heroes.
Play well.
मैच 1 देखना है भाई मुझे. कैसे जीते हम देखना मैं.
So they don't
And as we go, Maestro Nui and also
Bans and picks. Let's go.
While KSA
Fire Ninja को ban कर दिया, Dahlia को ban कर दिया पहले ही वापस से.
and the early here. Maybe we
Dahlia
might
से
see
डर क्यों है?
Guanyu or China first pick coming in from Team India.
Definitely open, but they're going to go with the Zhangfei. And one thing to take note of, India banned
से बना है ये.
Yuan. This has
बहुत healthy
basically
chips है भाई ये तो.
traumatized the India
I
squad.
know,
This hero has just completely dominated them when it's been on the opposing side. They're like, no, we're going to shut that one down.
It's definitely a hero with a lot of capabilities, right? The unending sorrow, healing you a lot. So maybe sometimes instead of banning, maybe they can try playing
Case
heroes
Netflix
like
होगा, Netflix तो बहुत पैसा भाई, लड़ देंगे वो
use
case.
the healing instead.
I like the idea, right? The built-in healing.
Zhang और Biren खेल रहे हैं.
Coming in from the Nerds really serves a role in cutting down these large heroes
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Dia, like Byron, for example. So maybe that's a consideration that India can actually venture into. However, they do.
जो चल रहा है बाहर तो बहुत ज़्यादा चल रहा है, बाहर तो बहुत ज़्यादा चल रहा है. इंडिया में तो नया गेम है ना अभी. 3 महीने तो है इंडिया में आए. बाहर तो बहुत तगड़ा चल रहा है. 3 महीनों में इंडिया के अंदर इतना कुछ कर दिया चुके हैं भाई. वॉच पार्टीज हो गई हैं, क्रिएटर इवेंट्स हो रहे हैं, HOK स्टूडियो हो गए जहाँ पे तुम एज अ स्मॉल क्रिएटर यू कैन मेक मनी आउट ऑफ HOK.
I think that these heroes have been criminally underplayed.
I think HOK cotton डालते हो you can make money.
Like the laning phase, they have a lot of control. Yeah, you want to jump to the back line, but how are you going to deal with both of them who have a ton of CC? This is a nice 1-2 combination. Plus now you got the Musashi on top.
Yeah, that's the question, right? And also probably they will try to handle that amount of CC with their own version of crowd control coming in from Zhangfei, hopefully. But
Musashi
having
भी आ गया.
Musashi on the line, they're going to be able to stop any terms of health regeneration coming in from India for about a couple of seconds with the duel to death. And as of now, it's not going to be a good idea for India to take any assassins for the jungle, I think, Saki.
Well, we have to think, right? There's still
Hello,
limited
Mukesh bhai.
options coming in for the side of Team India. But I like the
I go
Musashi
so
pickup
यहाँ पे तो
coming
भाई
in for the side of
Team
KSA,
India है. No, I
where
go
it
so
gives
no warranty.
direct
Team India.
access towards the backline on key targets like Ayush and also the side of Harsh on these 2 core carries here. And knowing for the fact it's Aino,
India का
I
गेम
don't
देख
think
क्या था,
they're
इसलिए
putting
उन्होंने
on
बैन
a
किया.
jungle tank unless we see
Dahlia को बैन कर, Dahlia भी
another
खेलते थे
lane
लोग.
swap shenanigan coming in from Aino and also Ayush.
Yeah, you're playing it wrong, I think, if you put Aino on some sort of hero. Like, he likes the mechanical damage-dealing style. You got to play to your strength, right? And he's more than capable to do that. And, I mean, not to say that it's easy to play like a jungle tank, but it is definitely, you're kind of taking a lot of the punches, and you're doing a little bit less, so it is a little bit simpler in that regard.
And it seems like India has already banned out Angela, knowing that that hero is just so painful to deal with, especially you as the...
ये similar है, ये दोनों गेम similar है, दोनों MOBA games है ना.
Who's going to be dealing with a lot of blazing brilliance non-stop because the cooldown coming in from Angela is very short.
And to add on towards that, right, the Angela has been one of the
Angela ban कर दिया.
popular picks in the tournament. Where
Divine Enforcers खेल रहा है भाई. ये जो Divine Enforcer है ना, मुसाशी बोल वाला, ये तुम्हारा level बढ़ा सकता है. 2500.
full combo. It probably deletes like 70% to 100% of your health if you take the full combo coming from Angela.
Yeah, that would be a problem, right? And I mean, it looks like KSA are going to go with this Jia. It's going to help. I mean, Musashi is probably a
water
prime
spits
target
out,
to
then
just
you
get those
lose.
extra
अच्छा,
levels,
देखते हैं भाई off
and
stream.
to just be that monster. But my problem with this hero is that yes, it has that, you know, the universal law, that like the red carpet, if you will, of wave clear. But if you're falling behind, you're going to really struggle.
Yeah, I agree. It's not really a good scaling hero, but only in the early game he can try to bully as much as possible.
But let's take a look at India's draft real quick here. We are getting a Wukong debut.
Wukong खेल रहे हैं लोग.
For the hands of IND here.
Wukong. Eren खेल रहे हैं सामने.
These are the assassin picks that are really fun to watch, especially when it comes to Wukong. Luck is a big issue with Wukong. If you're lucky with those crits, you go big with the team fights. But you're unlucky in the early game, it kind of slows down your clear and your team fight strength in the early game.
Yeah, the RNG coming in with Wukong is actually quite a lot. So sometimes calamity on the Arcana to maximize the critical chance. But sometimes I would love to try with Unparalleled to get a lot more of that critical damage instead.
And we were talking about how letting the players just play what they want. This is the perfect time, right? The Wukong just showing up. This is the first pick in the Asian Games.
Letting the players play what they want.
Confidence coming in from the side of Team India, experimenting picks coming in towards a tournament ground here.
भाई वो बाइक लेके आ गया.
Strengths, and right now, this is the series map number 4.
Crazy भाई वो बाइक ही चला रहा है.
Finding a win against Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
I think this is exactly what we were asking for, right? For
Bike चला रहा है वो.
Just play as best as they can, do whatever they want, and try their limits. And this is trying their limits. Look at the map. Look at the position of Wukong, which is very interesting. And he actually managed to get the Azure Golem with no problem whatsoever.
Just to go. You want to steal, you want to be aggressive. We haven't seen India do this, right? So it seems like actually they're kind of relieved, right? I mean, yeah, unfortunately for them, they're not going to be moving on, but at least it's to the point now where, again, let the players play the way that they want to play, and it is being aggressive, but they too right now are also being invaded.
Yeah, they're going to be trying the same thing. I don't think...
Nice भाई, क्या बढ़िया किसी करके मारा.
From Ashish, with the help of Harsh,
बहुत बढ़िया.
get the first strike.
अरे steal कर रहे farm.
The Azure Golem's going to go away.
Yeah, so, I mean, a huge commitment for that one, but it was a nice rotation by Harsh, really setting it up with that Honey Sweep Breeze to really knock it down. Laning-wise, they're in a much better spot, because again, yeah, KSA did steal the blue, but they lost their own blue, so in neck and neck, it's pretty much even in that regard.
Still even right now, unless they stay around for a little bit longer for them to get the other resources, the smaller ones. But let's take a look at Ayush. Is he going to be able to react to this move coming in from Faris? He's going to lock the movement, but he's going to pull back just a little bit. The Calvary is coming from the side.
Yeah, and this is why the Chano is always a prime.
For 19.
Especially with farm laner. You had that extra jump.
You're
able to kind of basically leapfrog away, get to safety. And,
what's up? Abhi I cannot play it.
Gank attempt was
definitely
has that little bit of control, but again, just not enough damage, especially early.
Oh, very unfortunate for Muhammad to show up too early, and they see him.
हाँ divide
होते
हैं. Divide होते हैं भाई. Acroman.
भाई
सीधा 2 मिनट के अंदर इतना डाइविंग कर रहे हैं भाई. कितना एग्रेसिव खेल रहे हैं हम. कितना एग्रेसिव खेल रहे हैं भाई. पूरी टीम घुस गई हमारी. क्या बढ़िया भाई. क्या बढ़िया खेला भाई. डाइव कर करके मार दिया 6-0 भाई. माँ कसम. गुस्सी भर दी भाई.
Because the way that he's able to get on, and you'll see it in the replay, he's lurking in the top, comes in, perfect Razor Cavalry, sets it up, Soaring Green Dragon.
बाइक लेके घुस गया भाई.
Again, just everybody else is just rushing it through, and literally it's a drive-by, finding Ferris as well, taking them all down. KSA had no chance, especially with the numbers.
क्या मारा है भाई.
Aggressive play by India.
डाइट कोक पिया करो यार. डाइट कोक नहीं मिली भाई. इससे मैंने 0 शुगर ऑर्डर कर लिया. एटलीस्ट 0 शुगर पीऊंगा तो.
And galloped from top lane all the way down to the bottom lane, and let's see what he's going to do to Ayush. Managed to survive that, but they did manage to get Zia in the mid lane. It's going to be a bit of a problem for Anas. Maybe when he got hit a bit too much, but look at Muhammad.
भाई बड़ा तो बना ही सकते हैं, बट मतलब अगर रील्स बन सकते हैं उसे छोटे-छोटे बना लो ऑलवेज भाई. शॉट्स पे हमेशा ज्यादा प्रेफरेंस डालो. अगर बन सकता है टाइम स्टैम्प से शॉट्स तो शॉट्स कर लो.
I felt like he might have saved that, because when he gets the Honey Sweep Breeze off, and unfortunately he did get hit, he was able to kind of walk away, but you save your duel death to the very last moment, and then you're able to go and secure that kill. Unfortunately for him, again, Harsh with a little
समझ आ रहा है कि हम जीते तो हैं और तगड़ा जीते हैं.
It's very interesting to see on how they literally just leave Ayush at bottom lane without any problem whatsoever, and they believe and are very confident with him to actually survive anything. But can he survive this? Muhammad's gonna go down in the hands of Ainul.
Yeah, so this Wukong, this is a problem, right? Like the amount of crit and the way that he's able to find you, and finding Muhammad, best case scenario, he's the other jungler, right? You slow him down and it comes off of his expense.
Umbrella outburst connects, Anas goes down. How many times does Anas has to go down? So many times.
भाई आराम से टैलेंट भी ले जाएंगे.
His roamer is actually quite far
easy win है भाई ये तो.
Directly to the Tyrant.
Sorry करो नहीं भाई यहाँ नहीं.
Buddy, I need help. I don't have any damage. I mean, yeah, I can take this Tyrant here, but it just
Sorry
really
सुबह थी
again,
अभी
setting
नहीं.
it up for Einol.
सुबह उठता हूँ मैं पागल रहता हूँ.
Finding that fourth gear, if you will, they're off to a racing start, and it's not even 5 minutes.
9-0 भाई. क्या मारा है?
They have 5,000 gold in front. This is very, very aggressive coming from them. It feels almost unfortunate that they didn't try something like this before, which is very aggressive with the Wukong going in, invading very early. I think it's a very good gameplay from them.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say, hey, let the past be in the past, my friend. All right, we moved on. Okay, all right, it is.
इनका पूरा कंटेंशन मिड पे है. मिनियन हो जाएगी, घुस जाएंगे, चार्जिंग कर जाएंगे मिड पे. अरे भाई वो अकेले संभाल ले रहे हैं. 3 लोग इसके ऊपर लगे हैं, मिड वो खाली कर देंगे. देख रहे हो जंगल घुस गए. रोटेशन कितनी अच्छी है.
Akshat is still trying to see if this is the right moment for him to go in.
वुकांग के पास तो अपनी अल्टी है, कहीं भी चाहे तो निकल सकता है, इसलिए वो थोड़ा ओवर कमिट कर रहा है. आई थिंक लॉर्ड मारने का मौका तो है. पूरी टीम है, लॉर्ड मार लो.
And he's gonna pull back just a little bit.
नहीं मारे, क्यों वेट कर रहे हैं? अच्छा मिट्टा तोड़ भी दिया इन लोगों ने भाई. बहुत फास्ट टावर्स तोड़ रहे हैं भाई.
To fill that bar, okay? I think that we're gonna be able just fine. It's just a matter of time before they get it. But again, once they do, that's
start एकदम गिरा रहे हैं भाई.
KSA right now, they know that they're behind, but they're grouping up. This is gonna be less farm on the map.
Oh, अब दिक्कत है.
Him and he's gonna try to run away. Ashish is still okay. He knows that he's a little bit of the
पकड़ लिया. वुकांग ने अपने वो मारी, अल्टी मारी.
But Ayush is gonna
डंडा गिरा, सीसी हो गया.
So is Anas gonna be gone.
You get out of position one time, Einol is on top of you, and the crits are real. This Wukong is a bit of a problem. If he's ever ganged up on, or if he's controlled, that's how you shut him down. KSA, though, have been caught out. They've been walking alone in these dark alleys.
भाई वुकांग भी उनके पास, ज़ैंग भी है. ज़ैंग भगा दे रहा अपनी अल्टी मार के. वो टावर ले लेंगे जब तक. क्या प्यारा गेम आ रहा है. वुकांग का अल्टी देख रहे हैं. वुकांग की अल्टी पे स्टन हो जा रहे हैं, खड़े जा रहे हैं. बहुत बढ़िया भाई. क्या कोऑर्डिनेशन आ रही है. यही पहले आया था ना अगर. ओपी. हाँ भाई जीत रहे हैं ना. हाँ ये वाली गेम तो जीत चुके हैं हम. मैं बैक करके देख रहा हूँ, मैंने देखा था गेम. हमने स्ट्रीम देख चुकी थी ना. ये तो जीत हुई गेम भाई. क्या प्यारा जीते भाई हम. देख रहे हो 11-0. क्या प्यारा जीते भाई हम.
This is pre.
Overlord के लिए fight नहीं ली. हाँ भाई तो.
We have to maybe wait for 10 minutes to actually make good use.
Level 2 देखो ना, कहाँ हमारे 10 पे बैठे लौंडे, वहाँ 7 पे बैठे हैं.
I mean everything in favor of India. The way that they've been dismantling KSA, they are playing scared. They're
पेट्रोल पंप से इसका रिकॉल.
walking into the lane together because they know that Einol might.
चलो शुरू कर दिया. ओ लॉर्ड.
Previously walked down again just around behind.
लॉर्ड की फाइट है. फाइट भी किया. लॉर्ड तो अपना ही है. वो बाहर निकल पा रहे. देख रहे हो, लुक एट द मैप. वो बाहर नहीं निकल पा रहे. वही बैठे वो. आराम से लॉर्ड निकाल लिया. बाहर निकल नहीं पाएंगे वो. लॉर्ड भी ले लिया. परफेक्ट गेम भाई. परफेक्ट गेम्स को कहते हैं.
Einol has just found the right moments. He's got a huge level advantage. Now stun.
The Umbrella always really connects. 2 of them go down at the same time. But look at Ashish.
सीधा डाइव भाई. गया एक और टावर. बस क्रिस्टल बचा है तो क्रिस्टल पे भी घुस जाएंगे सीधा. बिना मिनियन घुस गए क्रिस्टल पे. लास्ट गेम में तो गाइस पता है बिना मिनियन घुस के मार के देते हैं.
But it looks like the ultimate from Zia actually managed to clear the minion. He flashes forward, even though there's no more minion. The Vanguard is here. His teammate is coming back alive.
बिना मिनियन घुस गए. पिटेंगे तो. एक तो पिटेगा. वो बच गया. कैसे बचा अक्षर. गया अक्षर गया. अरे भाई अक्षर बच गया फिर से. उसने फ्लैश यूज कर लिया. आयुष भरा बट अक्षर क्या बचा भाई. वुकांग ने एक तो भर दिया. ओ नहीं भर पाया.
Will somehow stay alive. Didn't get a pick off on that one, but that was he was fighting 1 versus 4, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, India, let's be very honest.
भाई crazy खेल रही है तो.
We all would have just stuck around. We all would have looked to end. There was only a Nas left, and if we're checking this replay, I mean, yes, the crystal is wide open, but here come the reinforcements.
मतलब हम लोग बस छोटे आंख वाले लोगों से ही मरते हैं. अरे रेसिस्ट ज़्यादा देख पाते हैं ना ऐसे करके. फोकस कर पाते हैं. रेसिस्ट बातें मत करो भाई मेरी स्ट्रीम पे.
Very long range hero. He's gonna be able to clear the waves very quickly with no problem whatsoever. And fortunately for them, that's the only hero that was still alive, thanks to him being down just now.
Yeah, Anas. I mean, the old and wise man, somehow able to kind of salvage at least for now, which is buying time.
3-1 गया भाई बस. एक मरा भाई.
They're fortunate that the game didn't end.
आयुष मरा भाई एक बस था. बाकी तो 15-1 है भाई.
But again, Anas was
15-0 पे हरा सकते थे.
able to kind of take down those waves. That's what
वेव आगे घुस गया, कमिट किया, खत्म, टावर गया, आखिरी टावर बचा है, फिर तो क्रिस्टल सीधा। अभी घुस जाओ यार, क्रिस्टल मार दो यार, खत्म करो क्रिस्टल। ओ वुकैंग की अल्टी आई, स्टन किया, एक गया, दूसरे को भी डाइव कर लिया, दूसरा गया, तीसरा गया, खत्म भाई, खत्म। क्या जीते हैं भाई, छोटी हाइट है भाई, क्या प्यारा जीते भाई हम, क्या प्यारा जीते भाई हम, क्या प्यारा जीते, मजा आ गया भाई। अब सेम करना अपने को, बट अब तो मैचेस ही खत्म हो गए हमारे, अब क्या, ये बात ठीक है, एटलीस्ट वी हैव लर्न समथिंग भाई, अब इसको यूज करेंगे अगली बार, होप सो। श्रीलंका की बात ले भाई, अब श्रीलंका क्या लगता है, श्रीलंका को छो पाएगा? श्रीलंका बहुत नीचे बैठी है। श्रीलंका आ चुकी है भाइयों, expectations from Sri Lanka, बताओ।
They have made their presence known with dominant performance. They have shown exactly what they are capable of.
Hong Kong, China.
Their march through the competition. Give it up for Hong Kong, China.
वैसे बहुत सारी टीमें क्या कि हांगकांग चाइना तक लिखा है,
Sri-Lanka and an experienced bunch coming in
तो ऐसे रिस्पेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
China. This matchup will stir up the grouping.
भाई ये तो वन साइडेड जीतना चाहिए चाइना को, चाइना है भाई वो, गाइस लगा लो पैसा मेरा चाइना पे, चाइना को वन साइडेड जीतना चाहिए यार, चाइना ब्रो, कम ऑन, दे आर चाइना,
not only the series but also the group here.
One sided जीतना चाहिए चाइना को तो।
Parusa, Janith, Anjana and Malka here just rounding up the Sri Lanka squad where again
उनके यहाँ तो बचपन से गेमिंग और e-sports होता है भाई, बचपन से,
and positivity, and I think that the team has that potential, but can they take on the
जब से आके खुली वो गेम्स खेल रहे हैं।
Yeah, that is the question, right? After seeing a lot of different matches, pretty sure they will be able to pick up a thing or two from all of those amazing matches that we've seen so far. But going against Hong Kong, China is definitely going to be a little bit more difficult.
I think it's definitely going to be difficult, right? At the end of the day, if you were to come in with a prediction, Hong Kong, China is definitely one of the group leaders and the main contenders here coming in from Group D. But I like something about Sri Lanka. The way that they are doing the goal strength strategy that you guys mentioned, the roamer item mid with the jungle item support role, really allows the Tarusha, the main core of their team, to really, I would say, flourish in that sense, get all the goal and try to carry the game and break through.
Yeah, funneling the goal towards your jungle is one of the most important things that they have to get used to, and I think they really know what they're doing, and it all depends on whether or not they can continue it consistently. But this is the lineup.
रील डाल दी? नहीं अभी नहीं भाई, इस वाले के बात करूंगा। श्रीलंका जीतेगी एक राउंड, चलो देखते हैं भाई, आओ। वीडियो डाल दी? नहीं भाई, इसके बाद पहले यार स्ट्रीम खत्म करूं, आंखें थोड़ी सी खुली और गेम शुरू। गेमिंग शुरू, बात तो सही, आगे खुली, गेम खेलना कल से।
You know that Tikin is actually, he's from Fearless Esports. He played on pause as well as AG2.
बताओ इसका भाई, इसका लिक्विडिटी पढ़ दिया, इतना कुछ तो लिक्विडिटी है भाई का।
This is also a guy that's actually been there as well. Hawa has had some experience with Zoa as well. Some key, excuse me. Both of them had been playing on AG. So a lot of that pro experience, but now they're bringing it again to the Asian Games Qualifier stage.
Like I mentioned, right, a very experienced squad, and we do see that there is a substitution coming in for the side of the roamer role. Yesterday, we saw the player called Kahing play the roamer role for the side of Hong Kong, China, and today they are bringing in Sintan for roamer role.
बढ़िया,
so it's going to be interesting how.
भाई पहले मैच का क्या लगा रहा है? मैं तो भाई हांगकांग चाइना 2-0 भाई, 2-0 कर देंगे मुझे तो लग रहा है, लिटरली 2-0 भाई, easy 2-0 है।
Yeah, that's definitely true. They actually swapped it out. Probably we want to try
easy
to garner
2-0
as much as experience as possible, but from Sri Lanka's side as well, they would want to be learning in this game a lot.
Azaji, hello, Charan bhai, how are you? How are you?
Too much of a bad thing.
I don't think you ever want to hold back. Yeah, I think we're always kind of talking about like, oh, how much are they going to bring? Or do they want to be reserved? Yeah, I
listen. तेरे को भेजता हूँ, रुको, ये एक प्लेयर ऐसा दिख रहा है। तेजल भाई अल्फा फिर से चल गया क्या टूर्नामेंट खेलना? तेजल भाई मेजर अल्फा स्पॉटेड, वापस शुरू कर दिया क्या भाई ने खेलना ई स्पोर्ट्स?
see
ये हमारे
much of a bad thing.
प्लेयर जैसा लग रहा है, पता है कौन? मेजर अल्फा। कितनों को पता है मेजर अल्फा?
We're always kind of
Godlike का कोच था वो।
how much are they going to bring? Or do they want to be reserved?
पता है मेजर अल्फा?
You saw that in the last series, right? When India, I know.
यार नहीं खोलूंगा तो फिर भूख लग जाएगी यार। थोड़ा रुक के खोलूंगा, सिर्फ थोड़ा रुक के खोलूंगा।
He's able to excel. I expect both of these teams, if they want to play, you can't just be boxed in. You got to do what you want. You got to play your heroes.
Comfort is the name of the game here. If
ले जाना आ जाओ भाई।
scrims and you
अरे ऐसे कैसे गई चाइना? वो बचपन से गेम खेल रहा है।
heroes and get comfortable with them, then
चाइना आ जाओ भाई, अभी वापस टाइम है। अरे नहीं भाई, चाइना ही जीत रही है भाई। श्रीलंका चाइना में तो भाई 2-0 हराएगी भाई चाइना, 2-0। लैंड जाओगे ना नहीं मेरे भाई? नहीं हीरो भाई, नहीं जा रहा हूँ। कोच देख लो चाइना का, कोच देख के समझ आ रहा है भाई कि तो बहुत मारेंगे।
international or regional tournament.
So it seems like the pattern that we're seeing in the Asian Games Qualifier is that maybe if you're stuck, maybe it's just so hard to progress. Going back to what you're comfortable with might be one of the best choices that you have, because it takes a lot of pressure out of your shoulder trying to second guess whether or not is this the right move that I'm making, is this the right brush that I'm hiding at, because you already have all of these muscle memories because you're comfortable with that hero end roll.
And especially in game one, I think that you want to be a little bit more freewheeling, right? Let them just kind of play it out. If things didn't work, okay, let's just shore up some of the weaknesses. What are those mistakes? Is it a draft? And then you're looking to kind of, hone in a little bit more in that sense. But I think that especially for game one, set the tone, go out aggressive.
चलो भाई, ban pick, let's go.
Aggression, I like that statement coming in from you, Holler here.
साथ में देखने वालों का अच्छा लगता है, साथ देखने में देखते हैं वॉच पार्टी तो उसके लिए।
On the blue side here, we do see some of the high engaged capability heroes such as the Guan Yu and also the Maestro Nui.
बहुत बड़े दिखते हैं मेजर अल्फा जैसे। भाई ये श्रीलंकन टीम है, ये श्रीलंकन प्लेयर है, समझ जाओ, श्रीलंकन प्लेयर।
Yeah, taken away from the blue side, right?
अभी राख वेब सीरीज आई है, उसमें भी एक लौंडा है।
For the blue side, right? And Sri Lanka right now, they're going to think about what they want to do in terms of direction. They're going to go a little bit, not show all of their cards.
इनको जॉब तो आने से पहले ही चल गई कास्टिंग का क्या?
Looking at the bans coming in from Hong Kong, China as well, they actually take out Ukyo and Dolia, which is very, very annoying, very efficient in being used by Sri Lanka before. So that shows that.
भाई अपनी एचओ की टीम लेकिन एक गेम जीती है दिल भाई, ज्यादा एटलीस्ट एक जीत के गए अपन। बाकी तो यार अपने नया गेम है, क्या ही कर सकते हैं। अभी चाइना का मैच है भाई, and I'm expecting China one side मारेगी भाई श्रीलंका का अगेंस्ट।
Underrated picks thus far.
एडीज को जानते हो श्रीलंका वाले? हाँ भाई,
It's more on how you can apply damage.
जानते हो श्रीलंका वाले।
Spell one coming in from the Xiao Xiao Boomerang, and you are
लापू लिया है, धर्मा को भी बैन कर दिया।
from mid to late game.
Yeah, one thing that we've noticed from Hong Kong, China, generally, I mean, we
Soon.
only had one other series, is that they're
डॉलिया बैन इतनी जल्दी फास्ट क्यों कर रहे हैं सब सारे?
like tailor their draft.
उतरते एकदम डॉलिया बैन करते हैं सारे। डॉलिया ऐसा क्या कर दे रही है तगड़ा?
Looking to end the game. They are very balanced. They're looking
पीओई वाला कास्टिंग का ट्राइडेंट कहाँ कर सकते हैं? कर सकते हैं किक पे। जब ट्राइडेंट स्ट्रिंग्स होगी तो कर सकते हैं अपन। No worries. We can do it.
Maybe because it's very balanced, so that maybe they can react more within the game itself. So, you know what? If we need to funnel more.
आपका जॉब तो आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस आने से पहले ही चला गया कास्टिंग का, मतलब? समझा नहीं। वो कह रहे हो क्या जो फीफा में जैसे कास्टिंग जाती है अंदर ऐसा? भाई जो मैं स्ट्रीम में करता हूँ ये वाली फन तो नहीं कर सकता ना एआई। हेलो सर, जॉनी भाई को बोलना मेरे तरफ से ऑल द बेस्ट। भाई मैं जा नहीं रहा हूँ यार, बट मैं आपके तरफ से वैसे बोल दूंगा, पहुंचा दूंगा मैसेज। भाई जैंग को कर दिया बैन। जैंग को बैन करना अच्छा है भाई, क्योंकि जैंग बहुत बीटी देता है। धर्मा बैन नहीं किया, ये बीटी हो सकती है। चाइना तो धर्मा बहुत अच्छा खेलेंगे। ऑफिशियल वाला बोल रहा है, ओ लॉल, हर्ट्स। कोई बात नहीं भाई, अपन बेटर बनेंगे फिर उसका करेंगे ना भाई। You have to be the best, भाई। To be the, you have to be the best.
Most richest path, which is two different things, right? So it's very hard to understand.
गॉडले की पुरानी वाली जैसी नहीं लग रही है। अगर तुम नीचे देखो, नीचे इतना से पार्ट देखो, बस इतना पार्ट। कॉटन में जो पहनते थे वो पुरानी वाली गॉडले की जैसी ऐसी वाली लग रही है। ओजी गॉडले की जैसी। कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा, फिर भी देख रहा हूँ। समझ क्या नहीं आ रहा? पूछो ना भाई, मैं समझाऊंगा ना। जितना मुझे आता है मैं उतना तुम्हें समझा दूंगा। पूछो क्या समझ नहीं आ रहा तुम्हें, तो पूछो, मुझसे पूछो। अच्छा तो देखो, अभी वो लोग अपने अपने हीरोज पिक कर रहे हैं। एजेंट्स होते ना जैसे गेम में, वैसे हीरोज है, सबकी अपनी अपनी एबिलिटी है। तो अभी अपने अपने हीरोज पिक कर रहे हैं वो कि क्या क्या खेलेंगे, और बैन करें कि क्या क्या कोई भी नहीं खेल सकता। बैन फेज और पिक फेज, सिंपल। फाते खेल रहा है वो, बताओ भाई।
the Byron and the Yunjie. And coming from Sri Lanka itself, we do see the Arlie and also the Zhang Fei being locked away.
यहाँ मजा कौन देगा
With
फिर?
Sri Lanka,
Yes.
their last pick is the Fatih and also the Consort Yu.
Fatih.
Some of the good picks here that are able to counteract.
आखिरी pick बचा है China का.
The Dharma and also the Fatih is also
ये वाला कर रहे हो
handling
वहाँ अपना stream कर सकते हो क्या? नहीं वो नहीं कर सकते, वो नहीं कर सकते, वो allowed नहीं होता भाई.
on towards the channel.
That is not allowed.
Yeah, right now we're trying to see what roam that Hong Kong, China is going to be picking out. But I do fear that the picks coming in from Sri Lanka is going to grant Holler what he wants, which is exactly
Honestly, no one will watch it because
the aggression
कोई delay खास होता नहीं है, live ही चल रहा होता है.
Because these are the
तो अगर 30 सेकंड डिले में तुम्हें तुम्हारा फेवरेट स्ट्रीमर दिख जाएगा तो तुम वो देखोगे ना भाई.
Ooh,
लियान खेल रहा है, लियान को.
Burst potential plus everybody else is literally there to set you up.
Lian.
It comes back to those two. If they get isolated in any way, they're gonna have a tough time.
And this time around, coming in from the draft from Hong Kong, China, is looking really aggressive, I would say. Everything has a crowd control, everything has a trigger discipline where the moment that they feel like they want to fight you, it's go time coming in from the red side draft. But let's do take a look on the Sri Lanka draft for a while now. It's really slow and steady. It's really back and forth. They are playing with front lines coming in from Tarush and Malka, making sure that there is room to farm for Anjana and also Nasanda in the clash and farm role here. It's a different approach coming in from the Sri Lanka draft. This is game one between Sri Lanka and also
I cannot be there.
Thank you so much, Sagi. As we start this one, game number one
commitments already are Mumbai ki bhai.
Final series of the day. I mean, going into this one, I mean, you knew that Sri Lanka
You know how
were
to
gonna come
use
out
lean.
right? And
Lean
I
kya
think
hota hai?
that this
Acha, lean is a
draft
hero. No, I don't know,
pretty
bro.
balanced. I'm not giving a huge edge to
I don't know,
either of the squads, and right now it's all about execution.
And very interesting.
बहुत कम हीरोज का कभी मतलब खेल रहा हूँ ताकि पहले मैं उनको पास करूँ सीखूं. ऐसे लियान is one of my favorites. भाई वो स्टील कर रहा है. वो स्टील कर रहे हैं. वो घुस के स्टील करने. आते ही स्टील कर रहे हैं.
Steal as much economy as they can.
Yeah, this is a great start, right? And you're going to also leave Anjana and Samki.
देख रहे हो हांगकांग वाले दम है पे. मार क्यों नहीं रहे वो? They can steal. Why aren't they not stealing? They are waiting. कि last hit ले जाए उनका teammate.
China again. This is that value.
Starting में वो steal करके शुरू कर चुके हैं भाई. Goal diff.
Available and they took that away.
Exactly, without losing anything, without being
last hit लियान मार सकता but he was not taking the last. He was waiting for the
until they have
for his teammates to come.
What we do realize from Hong Kong, China is that they will never try to engage in a war that they think they're gonna win in 50-50% chance. They will only take it if it's 70-30 or 80-20.
What do you win? Facts भाई शाम में करते हैं.
Party when
We cannot monetize it anyways. मतलब हमें पैसा तो मिलेगा नहीं उससे. But सारे भाई होंगे तो बैठ के देखने में क्या ही बुराई है ना. क्योंकि मैं वैसे भी देखूंगा तो क्यों ना तुम्हारे साथ बैठ के देखूं. तो शाम में करते हैं वाला. इसके बाद पहले मैं जिम जाऊंगा. जिम जाऊंगा फिर उसका शाम में करते हैं वॉच पार्टी का सीन. Don't worry. 10 एपिसोड हमने देख लिया अब तक. क्योंकि एक बार वो शुरू करो फिर मन नहीं करता छोड़ने का यार उसको. लगता है एक दिन में खत्म कर दूं पूरा.
Those blasphemy fans are going to be a problem, right? The amount of damage that they can do. So Sri Lanka on the other side, I mean, if you're looking at like Janeth, they definitely can be vulnerable.
भाई तुम देख रहे हो लियान को क्या घुस-घुस के जा रहा है भाई उनका जंगल सील करने. He's committing. लियान का बेस्ट बात कहना है कि तुम्हारे पास डैश भी है और तुम्हारी अल्टी मार के भी तुम निकल सकते हो. क्राउडी में बहुत अच्छा लियान खेला था. EWC के लिए जब खेला था. EWC के वाले क्वालिफाइंग के लिए जब खेला था. क्या देख रहे हो भाई? मैं सोच रहा हूँ देखो ना देखो because I mean प्रॉब्लम बस ये कि I cannot monetize it. तो फिर देखना चाहिए नहीं देखना चाहिए पॉइंट नहीं है ना. मैं वो सोच रहा हूँ. Should we not? ये सोच रहा हूँ मैं.
Think it's small, but it's actually big in the long scheme of things. It's like the game of inches. Any sort of like steal away, any sort of jungle camp that you probably shouldn't have gotten, but taking it away, that thing swings quite a bit, especially in the early game. And we're not even 3 minutes in. We got a 1K lead for Hong Kong, China.
Almost be able to try to.
Do you watch parties allowed नहीं कर रहा है
Golem, but it seems like a teleportation.
आज तक सब वही कर रहे हैं उसको इससे शायद से रोका होगा.
Seems like just using it just to rotate back.
So I'm thinking right now, thinking.
Hong Kong, China, really trying to focus and play in the long game.
In the long game. And I mean, it's going to set up by a really good early game, which it looks like they're going to even contest this as Golem. They actually found out Shinan, who's going to just get a two-man stun. The Tremor Smash.
इस टाइम का नकल मुझे देखना है. ठीक है. कल इस टाइम तक कर लेंगे. ओह पिटे हांगकांग वाले नहीं मार रहे हांगकांग. भाई श्रीलंका पास पूरा एडवांटेज है. भर दो श्रीलंका भर दो इनको. भाई बहुत अच्छा. क्या बढ़िया भाई श्रीलंका ने एकदम सिस्टम चेंज कर दिया भाई हांगकांग का तो.
to the top lane.
सिस्टम हैंग कर दिया
Get all any objective that's left over there.
भाइयों ये कैसे हो गया? चाइना को तो जीतना चाहिए था।
Actually managed to
ये हुआ क्या?
very nicely here.
ओवर कमिट किया चाइना ने, बहुत अंदर तक चल गया और श्रीलंका की पूरी टीम रोटेट करके आ गई। पूरी टीम रोटेट करके आ गई। Good CCs भाई। Crowd capabilities का बहुत अच्छा यूज।
Giving them the freedom to take down Hong Kong China.
That was a great team fight by Sri Lanka, and also
crazy ही मार दिया भाई श्रीलंका ने।
Locking Hawa down, getting him stuck into you where he's not able to run away. That is the perfect team fight to start off this game, and now the net worth lead has shifted in their favor.
A very good fight for sure, but seems like they're trying to make sure that they can get the Tyrant. The vision is provided by Sinchan.
इकोनॉमी जो थी उसको ऑलमोस्ट न्यूट्रलाइज कर लिया। टैलेंट भी ले लिया भाई, इकोनॉमी बैलेंस हो गई भाई।
Taking a lot of resources.
100 रुपए का फर्क नहीं पड़ता।
You're counting out Sri Lanka, and man, they're coming out firing here. Not even 5 minutes.
Okay, वापस हो गई इकोनॉमी ऊपर।
But they're taking the big objectives. They've got 3 kills plus that Tyrant, and now it comes back to
things are looking better for Sri Lanka, bhai.
This is what you're doing when you're kind of like maybe losing the map control phase. You look to contest. Maybe you get the 50-50. It doesn't look like they get it here.
Rotation is being done by Hong Kong. China still trying to focus down in the bottom lane because they.
Sri Lanka बहुत calm, balanced game खेल रही है भाई। हांगकांग बहुत पुश करने का ट्राई कर रहा है। डाइव किया, हाँ डाइव किया, दोनों तीनों तरफ से आ गए। गए भाई, ये एक पिक भी आएगा और टावर भी जाएगा। हाँ हील भी ले लिया। गुड, पहला टावर आ गया, बहुत अच्छे, बहुत अच्छे, बहुत अच्छे। इसने पनौती लगा दी शायद। हाँ क्या कहना चाह रहे हो तुम? क्या कहना चाह रहे हो? कोई पनौती लगी है, ठीक है? फालतू बातें मत करो।
But it seems like he managed to run away.
Yeah, but you kind of knew that was the situation for Anjana, right? He was all by himself. It was just a matter of time. But they lost the bottom T2. That entire push from Hong Kong, China. They're like, okay, we don't care about kills, but we'll figure out and take objectives away, and this is how we're going to win this game.
Seems like they're trying to focus down towards the mid lane. He was recalling in the middle, out in the open.
Dive किया, नाइस। हाँ भाई, कौन सा था पनौती? ये देखो, उसके मार रहे हैं। और बोलता है चाइना, अरे चाइना मार तो रही है, देखो ना, ये लो, ले लिया। लो टैलेंट ले लिया। कहाँ क्या कैमरा यहाँ है इस बार? टैलेंट ले लिया, लो। सॉरी टैलेंट करा, ओवरलॉर्ड ले लिया। टैलेंट तो पहले जा चुका था चीन के पास।
Very interesting right there.
भाई honestly काफी इंटरेस्टिंग मैच है भाई। I was not expecting श्रीलंका इतना टफ कंपटीशन देगी भाई। And श्रीलंका बॉटम में बैठी है by the way.
At bottom lane, but look at how they're trying to slowly creep forward, trying to.
घुस गए, चाइना घुस गए। गोलम भी सील करेंगे, गोलम सील करके मारेंगे अगर तुम बचाने आओगे तो। हो गया भाई, हो गया। अब चाइना स्नोबॉल हो गया। चाइना का एक भी टावर नहीं टूटा है और चाइना कमिट भी कर रही है। अब चाइना का गेम है, अब श्रीलंका कुछ नहीं कर सकती। Until unless they don't win a team fight, मिड टावर बस तोड़ देगा ना तो फिर तो गेम खत्म है भाई। देख लो, मिड टावर बचाने के लिए पूरी टीम आगे रोटेट करके कि मिड टावर बच जाए बस। गोल्ड का एडवांटेज आ गया चाइना पे। टावर्स तोड़ दिए, किल भी आ गए, गोलम भी सील कर रहे हैं। मौका है, ये मौका श्रीलंका पे है। अरे नहीं, पीट दिया। एक साथ कमिटमेंट नहीं कर पाए।
Any other team would have just trying to continue that team fight after getting a Malka, but Hong Kong, China, it's just so disciplined. Doesn't
exactly what discipline भाई। फालतू फाइट लेने रहे। exactly वापस आ जा रहा तुरंत। देख लो वहाँ झाड़ू वेट कर रहा है वो। Can help my team। आगे पूरी टीम आगे, अब पुश करेंगे। मार के वापस छुप गए झाड़ी में कि अगर उसको मारना आएगा तो फिर हम उसके और चार्ज इन कर सकते हैं। कितना समझ के खेल रहे हैं। ये टीम फाइट डिसाइड होगी if happen। हाँ डिसाइडर तो होगी। मिड टावर की फाइट डिसाइड होगी मेरे भाई। मिड टावर बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। दोनों लेन्स तोड़ दिए, मिड टावर बचा है। मिड टावर इनको बचा के रखा हुआ है अभी के लिए श्रीलंका को। मिड टावर का तो बीट हो जाएगी। देख रहे हो, इसलिए पूरी टीम तो इंस्टेंट रोटेट करके मिड टावर पे आ रही है कि मिड टावर गिरना नहीं चाहिए।
It seems like he was the cause of why Hong Kong China lost a lot of their heroes just now.
If you're looking at the roles, all of the different
mid पे fight,
every single head-to-head has been.
जान ही दे रहे मिड को, अपना जाने ही नहीं दे रहे।
They've gotten that. There's a reason why they're.
देखो लियान टैंक है, लियान घुस सकता है। कमिट करना होगा तो लियान कर जाएगा कमिट।
All of the lanes winning.
बाकी लोग बस साथ घुसे दो। लो भाई स्टार्ट हो गया, आया टैलेंट और गया टैलेंट। ये टीम फाइट में लगे हुए हैं, टैलेंट ले गया, लो अब टावर टूटेगा, अब टावर टूटेगा। दो गए हैं, दो स्ट्राइक आई, अब टावर टूटेगा भाई, और टैलेंट भी आ गया है। ये वाली लेन क्लियर करेंगे, मिनियन वेव क्लियर करेंगे और सीधा मिड पुश कर जाएंगे। ओ आगे टाइम पे रोटेट करके आगे, लेकिन पिटा पिटा वो भाग गया, दूसरा वाला भाग गया मिड टावर, गया मिड टावर, खत्म भाई, रॉन्ग साइड भाग गया, टावर गया। अरे क्यों कमिट इतना किया इसने, बहुत गलत कमिट किया, बच गया भाई, क्या भागा बच के, कितना कमिट किया था उसने। गुरला टैक्टिक्स कर रहे हैं बे,
exactly what happened. The space is so
भाई क्रेजी हो रही है फाइट अब तो। बट मैंने बोलता ना कि चाइना जीतेगी भाई, चाइना 2-0 करेगी भाई, आई नो दैट। इट्स चाइना ब्रो, इट्स चाइना, दैट इज द बेयर मिनिमम आई एक्सपेक्ट। 2-0 इज द बेयर मिनिमम। डिसरिस्पेक्ट करके 2-0 करना इज समथिंग जो मजा आता कि 0-6 ऐसे हरा रहे हैं। ओ पकड़ लिया, क्या कमिटमेंट है, देख लो टीम फाइट देखो, तुम टीम फाइट देखो, डाइव करिए पूरी टीम एक साथ, दोनों साइड सारे घूम के पकड़ने के लिए। मिड लेन का एक टावर बचा, बस वो टूट गया फिर तो पुश कर जाएंगे। लग रहा टूटेगा, पूरी टीम रोटेट कर गया, कर गए। लियान कमिटेड है भाई, लियान को तो मारोगे को फायदा नहीं है, वो लोग टावर तोड़ देंगे, तुम लियान को मारोगे, लियान टैंक है, कितनी एचपी ट्रेन कर लोगे लियान की। देख रहे हो सिंपल रूल है, हर बार बस लियान को अंदर भेजना है कि तुम्हें मारना, लियान को मारो, लियान की एचपी बहुत है, लियान गोली खाता रहेगा, तुम्हारी फाइट खाता रहेगा, हम टावर तोड़ देंगे। एवरी टाइम लियान इज देयर, लियान की अल्टी भी है, ज्यादा बीटोगे तो लियान अल्टी मार के निकल जाएगा। बहुत बढ़िया डिसीजन है भाई, अल्टी मारेगा जंप करके निकल जाएगा बाहर।
Yeah, Nisanda was in the top lane, just happily pushing, and then Kahin's just like, yeah, hold my beer, I'm gonna get
10 मिनट ना भाई, बहुत क्रेजी 10 मिनट थे लास्ट, जो 10 मिनट देखे हमने फाइट।
Completely burst him, and then that just completely limits or takes away that top lane push.
Yeah, we all know at this point Kahin's damage is quite high, so anyone's gonna get burst now, even though Nisanda actually has secretary blessing or maybe even a sky, but there's nothing he can do at this point. Sumki is gonna be able to get the Tyrant, even though they had Primal Bond for a bit, but he is fine. Sakin is gonna be focusing down at the bottom lane. They're all trying to prepare for what's potentially gonna come afterwards. They send
pan out कर लिया कैमरा एंगल,
towards the top lane.
They're so far up right now. Kahin right now with a 3-level
भागा भाई
now with against Darusha, and
लापू को भागने में मजबूर कर दिया भाई। लियान घुसेगा, टावर तोड़ेंगे, देखा टावर टूटेगा।
more push coming, but the Raging Sea only on the one, not too much value. Shinshan will just happily take
बच गया,
Yeah, they will not try
टावर
to
बच गया।
too much, still trying to beat
लो ना वेव्स आ रही है भाई, ड्रैगन्स आ रहे हैं पीछे, यही खत्म कर देंगे।
Not trying to force unnecessarily because they don't really have to. They can just try to let it all play out until one
वैनगार्ड के साथ पुश कर दो ना भाई, खत्म ही बात। ड्रैगन रोक के रह जाओगे, तुम शैडो वैनगार्ड रोक के टावर तोड़ेंगे। ये मार, घुस के मार दिया, घुस के कमिट करके मारा, 2 मार दिए। या क्रिस्टल गया भाई, क्रिस्टल गया भाई, मिनियन आए भी नहीं है, वो क्रिस्टल पे डाइव करके मार रहे हैं। खत्म भाई, खत्म, 5 मार दिए भाई, एस ही कर दिया। हाँ सर, एस ही कर दिया भाई जीतने के लिए, 5 के 5 मार दिए। अब रोक लो, कैसे रोक सकते हो? क्या जीते हैं भाई, क्या जीती है हांगकांग, मजा आ गया। क्या जीती है हांगकांग भाई, बुस्सी वर्दी मार गए।
And the skill set that they were throwing out just now is not really that complicated to do.
Break time.
The macro gameplay coming in from Hong Kong, China is
हंस
just
रहे हैं ये।
so complex and so
How can they be happy?
for us to have that perfect kind of macro to be done like that.
Macro, the exact thing that is allowing.
Look at them, जीत के वो खुश नहीं है भाई, तुम हार के खुश कैसे हो भाई? No bro, no भाई। घुस्सी वर्दी भाई, घुस्सी वर्दी लिटरली। हांगकांग को तो सदा जी इजी 1v5 कर देंगे। अरे नहीं भाई, है तो वो प्रो प्लेयर ना, भले हांगकांग के हैं बट है तो प्रो प्लेयर ना वो भी वहां के। ऐसे कैसे 1v5 कर दूंगा, वहां के प्रो प्लेयर है भाई वो। भाई रुको, मैं आ रहा हूँ सुसु करके तेज में। टूथपिक लेके आया हूँ मित्रों। मेरे मुंह में चिकन फंस गया। कहाँ हो रहा है मैच? मैरिड होटल में हो रहे हैं। मैच मैरिड होटल में हो रहे हैं। भाई आई फील अ वेरी बिग गैप बिटवीन माई टीथ। ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है? इतना बड़ा गैप क्यों फील हो रहा है टूथपिक मारने के बाद? अरे दाल हाथ निकाल लिया क्या है यहाँ से? Why do I feel such a big gap यार? दांतों में गैप तो नहीं आया ना? नहीं। क्या है भाई साजी की? अरे भाई क्या नाम रखते हो यार? क्या नाम रखते हो भाई आप? हाँ तो दिखने दे यार मैच कहाँ पे है?
To be able to do a lot of damage during the team fights.
Also because of the channel pick. I mean, how many times was he able to get like the perfect
क्या हाल है?
signals
All good
to
भाई।
just
आप
kind of
बताओ,
ensure
how
that
are
that
you?
damage
How's your
continues?
हाल चाल?
Like the channel pick has been incredibly strong here.
Especially on this hands of this farm lane player, right? But let's check out a goal graph on what exactly went down. So you can see that small little up at the 4th minute mark, where Sri Lanka got the little tyrant that on towards the bottom side, where they were like off a fresh start, right? Because in the early game, in the laning phase, before that 3 kills happened for the side of Sri Lanka in their own blue buff, things were looking pretty good for Hong Kong China. They got every single little objective, the fire peak, the spike-tail beast, and then the map resource. All the laning phase, it went smoothly for Hong Kong China, but they capitalized. Sri Lanka, they did, and they pulled it go back to even at 4th minute.
This goal graph is basically the same thing as the happiness level of the Sri Lanka team.
भाई हल्का सा एकदम
it's not so great, but then they invaded. Okay, we were up 3-0, and then everything else straight there down. Unfortunately.
That means
भाई ये दिखा रहा है कि श्रीलंका had
I feel like if
a decent start, but फिर हांगकांग ने पूरा एकदम गेम खराब कर दिया, खींच दिया।
China team, they will definitely have to be able to handle the pressure, because if you do a
साइंस से
small
मान लिया हमारी भाई। अरे
things
भाई
will go really bad, and this is the upcoming
पहले
highlight
आपने
of
साइंस
their
ली,
own game
अब साइंस
fight. So
आपकी
we see
लेगा।
immediate
As
engagement
simple as
from
that.
and also Isaiah Hoa, but they overestimated their early game damage because there is the sparkling debuff in the jungle here. You can't do too much damage. You overdove yourself and you sacrifice 3 kills. But it's the subsequent plays coming in from the red team Hong Kong China that actually brought them back in towards these games. Plays from bot side, plays on towards the top side, and when this moment actually came around, it was the deal that actually snowballed all of them towards that late game.
Yeah, again, the movements, every movements were all calculated, were all, no time wasted. There's no wasted movements, that's the thing. There's always something that Hong Kong China was doing just now, and everything is just so effective coming in from them. I think there's almost no stopping them, except if the other team, as if Sri Lanka, also do not do any mistakes whatsoever, and at least try not to lose their own side of the jungle, small little.
हाँ ये है कि अगर श्रीलंका ने जंगल ना गवाए तो चांसेस बहुत आई हैं.
It's one thing to kind of get that start in terms of those kills, but then it's a way to, again, you got to turn it into objectives. You got to like push out the lanes a little bit more. You got to be a little bit more efficient with that. And Samgi here literally putting the other team to sleep here as they was 5-0-5, didn't die a single time. 32% of the team's damage, pretty insane here.
In a rather, I would say, chaotic game, he was the most consistent factor out of the Hong Kong China team that brought the team's victory with no worries, right? This is why Chano is such a destructive pick on the proper hands. Strong early game laning phase and a good late game damage output on this single pick.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we do know Sum Ki is a very good player, and Hong Kong China is gonna be trying their very best again one more time after this. Sri Lanka, is there anything that they can change about their gameplay? I am not too sure if there is enough time for them to adapt. But maybe if they pick heroes that are more leaning towards early game, maybe they can try something much more aggressive.
I think that the Sri Lanka, I mean, this is something that I was actually shocked when those moments were happening, right? Yeah. To really take the fight to Hong Kong, China, and to have that lead. If they're able to continue on, but they able to compound off of that success into more success to turn it into, again, map control, that could have been a very different game. So I still have hope for Sri Lanka. I do think that the potential is there, especially after what we just saw in game 1.
It's the movement that counts, right? Where if you can move as efficient coming in against Hong Kong, China, and combat them at the objective points. Because objective doesn't mean Tyrant or Overlord only. It comes into towers and how you defend the waves. Because sometimes when you lose the laning phase, you lose the minions, and minions' gold is higher than it kills gold. Like minions is about like 230 gold total. Elimination is about like 150. So if you really lose the lane, the after effect comes in much deeper, right? So let's say you
basically lane fights nahi haarni
it
hai.
also counts as buffs, towers, minions, or things like the jungle monsters. All these are objectives, and if it gets traded and stolen away coming in by Hong Kong, China, on Sri Lanka side, the goal lead will always be wide open between you and the opponent.
I agree. That's what they want. They want that advantage early on. But do you know what? Our advantage is we are at Petaling Jaya Marriott Hotel, our venue sponsor. Thank you so much. Official venue and hotel partner of 2026 Asian Games Esports Qualifiers for honor of
venue bhi hai partner wala
as
hai
we
Marriott.
go into this one, of course, day 5, we've been
Marriott
here
ne pura setup banaya ho bhai.
We've had a great time in terms of the games that
Ladkiyon
we've
se
seen and been able to kind of, get into
Maria,
this
kya naam
one.
tha? Maya,
Again,
Maria,
let's
jo bhi
talk
naam
a
hai.
little bit more
Chalo
about
bhai,
Sri Lanka.
start ho raha hai.
Have moments, have opportunities, but Sagi, again, your coach of Sri Lanka, what are you telling them?
Play as 5.
Play as 5?
Play as 5, move as 1, try to react to plays Hong Kong, China is trying
Yeah,
to
so
propose.
move as
Because
one,
so far in this tournament, you can see emerging regions, they have this
मलेशिया में हो रहा है भाई पता चल गया लो
when you don't have enough numbers,
रेक्स भाई वहीं बैठे हैं मलेशिया में हो रहा है भाई
where
एचओके
you're seeing like more mature teams coming in from Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, Myanmar, or even Hong Kong, China. The way that they play is that numbers advantage always give them the edge in team
मलेशिया में मेरे रूम में हैं पता चल
That's
गया
the first thing that Sri Lanka needs to
भाई
be
की
checking
स्टोरी देख ली
out. Numbers advantage. Do we meet it 50-50 or is it a 5-5?
Yeah, that's the question, right? We probably would prefer to meet by as 50-50, and
correct.
That's the best thing to do for sure. And right now we want to see whether or not Sri Lanka is going to try their very best to go with maybe different hero picks. Something that India actually did just now, just go crazy. I think what India did was probably a bit too late because they are already confirmed to be at the bottom 2. Maybe Sri Lanka should try something like that, but try earlier before they're actually confirmed all the way down.
I don't really
बच्चे लोग आशा देख के लग रहे हैं जैसे
were
कोई के ड्रामा अरे भाई क्या था के ड्रामा
efficient on them. No true. It was again more about the team play.
भाई शार्लेट पिक की है
How Hong Kong,
आप
China
खोलूंगा
were extracting resources.
लापुल अपन फाइनल जब बैन कर दिया
things away from them.
I like it. Efficiency, right? Where we talk about, like, yeah, you can play safe. But play safe is not the answer if you're not playing efficiently. You can be careful, but when you are not wanting to be proactive, not wanting to be moving for objectives, not wanting to do a single play, and just hope that the enemy makes a mistake. What if the enemy doesn't make a mistake? You'll be forever in the reactive side, and everything will be capitalized by your opponent.
Sometimes trying to counter meta might be a little bit worse than trying to do something with your own meta, something that you want to do it yourself. Maybe they have an idea that they might want to try to, you know what, at Manet 1, just all in towards the enemy blue buff. Maybe something like that. Just force it out, knowing even though that, you know, Hong Kong China is a very good team, very scary team, you can't do this.
होगी अरे यार मेरे को भूख लग रही है भाई सबसे यहीं बैठा हूँ भाई सोचो सुबह से यहीं बैठा खा रहा हूँ धर्मा
original game, put them in with discomfort. Maybe you have a shot when you are trying as a lower position or a less experienced team challenging a
tank नहीं pick कर रहे हैं Hong Kong वाले.
Hong Kong China.
Yeah, I kind of look at this too. Sorry, I'm gonna just go a different direction in terms of this. Like with chess, right? You have a really good early game. And you're going up against the chess master who has seen this time and time again. They're able to,
Musashi ban कर दिया.
They've already played. So like mid to late game, they're gonna just close you out. But if you're able to get a little bit of an edge early, maybe you catch them out. Kind of like what they did in game 1. If they're able to continue that success, that might give them a chance. But again, if they're behind and you're up against the chess master, gotta help you, man.
The analogy is great because it's things that are out of the expectation that you can catch your opponents off guard. Maybe it might not work always, but it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I agree with that, because sometimes we confuse them. It might just throw them off their feet and they would be surprised. Because if it's a surprise to us, it might also be a surprise to the other team as well, right? So we do have a Charlotte. We also have an Arlian idea for Hong Kong, China, which is a very strong start for sure. But they have yet to pick any hero for the front line to open the map aggressively.
I want to say that we're also chess master casters. Nothing will surprise us, Adam. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna have to find out. I mean, they still can. At the end of the day, we've seen a lot of interesting picks.
Chalo, bhai, start karo match.
Especially pick karo. The Schwantz, the Wukong. So they've definitely kind of kept us on our toes, so to speak.
Yep, and coming into the second phase of the draft right now, we do see Lady Zen being picked up, and you were wondering, like, hey, where's the front line coming in from Hong Kong, China? There you have it. It's a buy.
Third party jeet gayi. Oh bhai, crazy bhai. That's crazy for TAG bhai.
So that's gonna be an interesting.
Hey, Angela pick aa gaya finally.
Is used to directly counter out against some of these frontline picks coming in from Sri Lanka. One good Chaos Sender, and you are gone.
But there is a possibility that the Charlotte. So this is gonna be quite interesting if that actually happens as well. We do have the Lady Zhen that's gonna be picked out as the fourth hero from Sri Lanka. They're still trying to look for their best jungle at this situation. They need an assassin because they already have a Lianpo and they're going with Zilong.
Actually, I prefer a Charlotte jungle over a Baichi one, but that's just my preference.
Same. For me, in the usual case, maybe yes, but since you're playing a Diadea, usually we want to pair Diadea up with a strong front line, like a Dun or like a tank in general, right? But now you have the Diadea. I think Baichi jungle has decent clear, can pair up the Diadea to pump in more heals after level 4. I think it makes much more sense having the Baichi in the jungle.
Well, there you go. I think he's doing it just for the fact that he's got the skin, maybe, you know?
Oh, Playground Hunter, right?
Playground Hunter.
Yeah.
Boom, sponsor post. Boom, count it.
So smooth.
बहुत double smite खेल रहे हैं. लियान पे भी smite double smite खेल रही है भाई श्रीलंका. Guys, double smite.
Can Sri Lanka handle this aggression coming in from Hong Kong, China?
भूल गए क्या? अरे Python यार कैसे भूल जाऊंगा भाई? क्या बात कर रहे हो यार आप?
Assume there's gonna be a lot more
कैसे Python भाई?
other jungle evasions.
I want double jungle. Oh, double smite खेल रहे हैं.
This is that moment to really bounce back. I mean,
I want to see double smite कैसे काम करेगा.
In the first game, it's again about surviving.
I think वो objectives छीनना चाहते हैं, इससे double smite खेल रहे हैं. कि objective नहीं हाथ से जाने चाहिए, है ना?
And again, turn this game on its head.
To be honest, in the previous game, actually Sri Lanka survived the early game before they won that eliminations, right? They actually managed to survive, but here we go. They really get their first kill very early on. And Jana
Hong Kong ने घुस के भर भी थी घुस एक की.
Talking about surviving the early game, and then that happened, right?
Charlotte farm चोरी करे. मैं भी इससे वैसे कहता हूँ Charlotte घुस के farm ले जाना. मुर्गी मैं भी ले जाता हूँ. मैं भी chicken ले जाता हूँ.
Somehow they just want to prove me wrong.
You gotta say it the other way for Hong Kong, China. You gotta make it seem like bad for them. You know what I mean? So that you kind of, jinx both sides.
Oh, okay, I'll try that one out. Let's see how it goes. Charlotte is still up top, facing Dharma for now, and it seems like Arlie is gonna have quite a comfortable time farming as well. Are they gonna give it to Arlie at this early?
अपने farmer, अपनी jungle की help कर दे रहे हैं. तुरंत farm लेने में.
The lane was
उनका farm steal कर रहे हैं.
We're nowhere there. So he's again providing value by making things a little bit more efficient for Kahin. He's of course your win condition, and letting that man farm as the way he's doing. That's the one where you're kind of like accelerating because you're getting everything in terms of the gold sharing as well.
Actually, yeah, it's very interesting on how 4 people can actually do gold sharing as well.
Hong Kong जल्दी खत्म कर रहा है. मुझे भी लग रहा है भाई जल्दी खत्म हो जैसा खेल रहा है लग रहा है जल्दी खत्म करेंगे. Aggression देख रहे हो भाई. 2-0 करना चाहते हैं भाई तुरंत एकदम.
This is what Hong Kong China keeps on doing every time.
कहाँ Charlotte घुस गई देख रहे हो?
To go and invade the jungle.
He lost nothing. That's
दोनों बैठे हैं.
Right now they're like, oh wow, they are not afraid to play. Shinchan jumping on that guy. Like Sri Lanka right now, again playing a little bit scared. They're like, oh, wow, like how aggressive they can be. Now, how do we kind of maneuver around that so that we don't get jumped again?
Within 1 minute, 4,500 gold is already in front for Hong Kong China, which is extremely insane. And Sukin is going to be quite ready to prepare for maybe potentially a red buff invasion.
घुस गए buff लेंगे. Golem ले गए.
Look at the blazing brilliance going out and all the damage coming
भाई
from
Charlotte
managed to actually run away. The first death going to
Angela को pick और
a quick punishment.
Yeah, nobody cares about roamers. Roam lines don't matter. So that I think they're going to be happy with
Only
that.
one
They got
maybe.
the Crimson Golem. So I think overall the team is going to be fine. Obviously, Shinshan is like, yo, this kind of, you know, roam life does suck at times when we're getting jumped, right?
Is that why you moved?
देख रहा मैं जंगल के लिए हेल्प करें एकदम इंस्टेंट उसको लो कर दे रहा है लो भाई खत्म करो
And I was like, why
बस
am
उठाते
I
चलो
putting
अपने
myself in this situation,
When
right?
you put
I don't want to
one
get punched in the face anymore.
The unsung hero, no problem. Well, I'll make a song about you one day.
Song
Seems
about you one
like
day.
Malka is actually quite nearby, and he's gonna play quite.
4 मिनट होने वाले हैं भाई ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आ रहे हैं गाइस
Division for the entire team.
भाई कितना लगता है कि 10 मिनट में गेम खत्म हो जाएगी मुझे लग रहा है 10 से 12 मिनट में गेम खत्म कर देंगे जैसा खेल रहे हैं 10 से 12 मिनट सुपर ही जाएगी
Roaming item, and we can see Malka is also buying jungle item tank.
Yeah.
Which is very different.
It is very different, but I think that you're also looking at the priority of how the net worth will be looking to go. Jonathan will literally sacrifice all of his farm for Tharusha, who is your win condition. Anjana is going to be the late game to get them over the hump. But Amalka, again, he doesn't need to go for that roam because if Jonathan is sacrificing, he doesn't need it.
I'm quite worried for Anjana actually because he's sharing gold with the Liampo, but he does have the jungle item, right? So he's not gonna really actually share that much. Again, they're gonna be able to get the Tyrant pretty quickly. But Sri Lanka is gonna be focusing on the Overlord without no problem whatsoever. It seems like they're gonna try to force it out. Sakin is quite nearby.
एक पिछले तो हो जाएगा
He's gonna run away to
ठीक है गोलम चला लिया
because the Hong Kong China
वक्त चला लिया
down on the Crimson Golem without no problem whatsoever. Wow, what just happened?
Yeah, well, Jonath was rotating. I mean, as that support was looking to help support. I mean,
बहुत प्यारा गोलम चुरा भी लिया
there's no way they steal it away from Tharusha, who had the smite up, right? Kahin was actually making the rotation there, but they did make Jonath pay.
डबल स्माइट लेके भी श्रीलंका करने के बाद उसको तो बेटी है भाई
Timers, they were able to take the Crimson Golem. So that, again, a lot of value and more gold in the coffers of Hong Kong, China.
Talking about timers, they are aware that the blue buff timer is already up and they can try to make an regression here, but he just got the blue buff just in the nick of time, and the rotation is going to be done by Sumki back towards the bottom lane where he just lost the tower.
Yeah, so we've been talking about it all day today, right? In terms of just like how teams play around timers. And you also have the timer of the jungle camps, the buffs when they're available. So you revolve around that. You look to rotate, you look clear the wave, then you're looking to go in.
Look at how
पकड़ लिया
damage coming in towards the sun.
कमिट कर करके मार रहे हैं भाई हांगकांग वाले तो भाई
efficient move coming in. Kahin wasted no time using
इजी मार देगा वैनगार्ड को
Yeah,
तो
so the way that they did it is that they cleared the wave, then they made their way up, they got the kill, and they're continuing
came
to
back
push. So now this is that value. What sort of objective are they getting? It looks like they're going to take the bottom T1 off of that kill.
Getting that tower because they have an advantage of 1+ hero at this area is a very effective situation apparently. And also having Sakin always checking the side lanes, making sure there's no split pushing opportunity is going to be given to Tharusha is quite interesting.
शालन वेव्स को पहले क्लियर कर दे रही है देख रहे हो मिड पे वेव्स को क्लियर कर दे रही है शालन
Especially in that top lane. They're looking to contest this Crimson Golem. They're going to give it up for free. Sri Lanka just caught left wanting and just watching them.
I'm just excited to see if Amalka is going to try something aggressive moving towards the front. Maybe use the ultimate coming in from Liampo, trying to maybe open a war before someone else does it first. Because right now, he's trying to play defensively.
Yeah, so I don't like it as an initial starter because when you do the Tremor Smash, generally speaking, you springboard so far, the mobility of the rest of the guys aren't there. Right? Yep. So I look at him as like that counter initiator, right?
Yeah.
So Tharusha can be the guy. Maybe he just attracts them. Then Asanda coming in with Amalka on that Tremor Smash. So that's the Wombo combo. But they got to set it up. It's not going to be easy to do.
Theoretically, it sounds easy, but it is definitely not. Nisanda is all the way up top. He is alone. He's trying to do a split push. It seems like it's quite effective right now. Throwing Hong Kong, China off guard. Right now, their tempo has changed a little bit because Charlotte has been sent towards the top, forced to defend.
Forced to defend, but still has that advantage. I think Skin will be very happy with that because he, you know, the Charlotte will start to scale. Will be a problem mid to late game, and whenever you're getting some sort of value, you don't want to go too far. I mean, it's not about the team fight right now. They're pushing on all three ends and literally like, taking off all of the jungle resources. So he's going to be happy because he wants to carry as well.
Team Tempo are ready, trying to help Hawa out of any bad situation. At the bottom lane, we still have Sumki trying to take down the tier 2 tower without no problem whatsoever. Sakin is also quite nearby, trying to see what's the position of Nisanda. They know Nisanda is nearby, but they don't want to make a wrong move.
Yeah, look at how Kahin is just rotating around the map. I mean, he was making his way to the south one because they thought that they would defend the bottom T2, but he cut it off and he was incredibly scary.
Put your attention towards this one. A very good ultimate blazing brilliance coming in from the Angela. Double strike has been given to Sumki. Behind them, this is Sakin trying to chase Anjana. And they managed to get all of them. All 5 of them has been put down.
That's a quadra strike, right? And just like that, it looks like they're going to potentially end the game off of this ace. I mean, the bottom T3 is going to be great in terms of just being able to take down those minions. So it's going to buy Sri Lanka a little bit of time before they go in. But as we go into this replay, look, he's trying to go for the burst ram. He gets frozen here, the tremor smash, and they go all in together. They get caught on the edge, but then it was a little too far. And even on the backside, you're seeing King doing some serious work, finding the damage dealers, and just taking them down.
Eventually, all the finishers actually goes to Sumki. That's the most important thing. He actually get quadra strike, which is super effective. And I think that this is going to be very good for him because a lot of goals going to be funneled down towards him. He also is using Frenzy, so he's going to be able to really benefit from the extra lifesteal and physical attack coming in from Frenzy. They can try to focus as fast as possible to move towards the bottom tower if they want to.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, oh, giving it the gold to Sumki is probably worst case scenario.
2-0 भाई.
Probably, yes. But the rest of them, they know what to do with the gold if they were giving it as well.
अगले 5 मिनट में 5 मिनट ज़्यादा बोल रहा हूँ.
Probably not a great spot for Sri Lanka here, but
Honestly,
now
bhai.
they're looking to split push because, again, you need a little bit of breathing space.
Oh no, he knows he's right there. Nisana's going to try to
Shot
run a very good power gradation, but Sumki is here.
Yeah.
He does have all the Doomsday.
Teammate भी आ गया.
He has to run away as soon as he can, but Nisanda seems like he's quite okay. But Sakin is
भाई
not
chase
done
कर
yet.
रहा
He's going to go in, but
क्या?
there's not going to be any support or backup coming in from the rest of the Sri Lanka.
Yeah, you can't get away from this Hong Kong-China lineup. I mean, the mobility that they have, if you get caught out once, you're just going to get run down. I mean, the Monk has his own mobility, but it's an Arlie and a Charlotte. Those guys can find ways to just speed burst and get even on top of you.
But look at this, Lei Weiss is quite effective of managing to pull Anjana into the team.
हो गया, tower गया.
It has to run away. Destructive Dealer
2 मिनट और.
has been used this now. The high ground tower in the mid lane has also been destroyed, and Hong Kong China looking to try to destroy the crystal.
I mean, they're doing everything well. They're just going to wait and buy their time.
मिनट में आंसर पहले मार रहे हैं तो भाई.
Smash has been used.
Wave
but
रोकी.
it is a very good ulti coming from Brazil, but it seems like he's going to go down very quickly.
मिनट में रोकते रोकते पिटा वो. मिनट में रोकते रोकते मर गया वो.
And the last one also goes
भाई
down.
बिना वेव के तोड़ देंगे क्या?
Be focused by Hong Kong China.
बस वो वेट कर रहे वेव आने का. खत्म हो गया भाई. हाँ सर है वो खत्म हो गया. वेव आएगी और खत्म.
2 strikes to Sri Lanka.
I mean, it's looking like it's going to be the end. He's just trying to maybe go for the minion wave. No way Anjana makes that save. And it looks like Hong Kong China are going to take a clean 2-0 sweep in the series.
Further cementing
Ace कर दिया भाई.
in towards Group D here. Currently, their score is 4-0 in terms of the match points, and in terms of series,
घर से थोड़ी खेल रहे हैं भाई. लैंड पे हैं.
2-0 after this defeat, sending Sri Lanka further down the depths of this Group D.
We knew Group D was going to be tough. We knew Hong Kong China were very good, and they were definitely one of the favorites in the group. But to see them perform on the stage and the way they do it, man, it's clean. And
बहुत respectfully
really fun to watch a team like this.
Yeah, incredible.
No फालतू fights.
And the fact that they did not go down without a fight, that's
उन्हें मिल जाएगी. हाँ मेरे भाई मैंने मिल जाएगी.
actually tried their very best. Also, we saw on how the rotation coming in from Hong Kong China was just too fast. And they already cleared all of their own resources until to a point
भाई पुस्तक देख रहे हो तुम.
and they already cleared
कॉपी पेन लेके इतनी इतनी किताबें इतने इतने नोट्स बना के आते हैं भाई. ये तुम कैसे जीतोगे भाई? भाई जो बोलो ई स्पोर्ट्स में चाइना गलत ही है भाई. हर गेम में वो भी. चाइना इज इन ई स्पोर्ट्स इज क्रेजी भाई. गवर्नमेंट का सपोर्ट है, लोग वहां समझते हैं, पेरेंट्स बहुत सपोर्ट करते हैं. यहाँ पे गेमिंग इज एक्चुअली अ करियर ना भाई, इसलिए
all of their own resources until to a point where even the farm lane joined
कंटेंट क्रिएशन से ज्यादा वहाँ पे ई स्पोर्ट्स का है सीन.
just to make everything quicker, and you know what, it works.
It really works, right? As we saw from the highlights later on that we can see, it's about the early jungle invasions, right? How they managed to get the lane win coming in towards the mid lane. I appreciate the enthusiasm and the proactiveness in going to try the mid lane roam build into the jungle funnel strategy, because you need mid to be able to buy the knowledge gem. You need roam to be able to buy the jungle item so you can cross out that effect. But that's the problem, right? You have a Bai Chi, Charlotte, and also a Diadia. So much healing, but you're delaying the Venomous Staff so slow on that Lady Zone. I don't think that's really much of a value, considering the fact that Zilong is not the best hyper carry.
गलत है
can benefit off so much.
मतलब गलत ही आगे ऐसा गलत कह रहे हो ना, अच्छे वाला गलत कह रहे हो ना कि गलत है, अच्छे वाला गलत कह रहे हो ना भाई आप कि हर चीज में ही चाइना आगे, हर चीज में ही जान तगड़ा कर रही है, ऐसा गलत कह रहे हो ना आप। डेवलपमेंट बोले हाँ कोई भी चीज है भाई, चाइना है तो अच्छी, मतलब दैट इज ट्रू भाई। और फिलीपींस का मैच था वो भी 3-0 जीता ना ये वाले भी।
But I think it's not really feasible to give it over to a Zilong per se, because if you give it over to Zilong, it's like, yeah, you jump in and then you get blown apart, you trade like 1-for-1, and that's everywhere of your goal going into the dumpster, right? And you can start to see like you can see Charlotte, Bai Chi, Diadia, so much healing. But where's the Venomous Staff coming in from the side of the Lady Zone?
Yeah, that's the most important thing, right? For the Lady Zone to actually get Venomous Staff as soon as possible to reduce any sort of healing coming in from Hong Kong, China. But maybe not everyone really focus down on the supporting items. Sometimes they want to really focus on getting damage first. But again, this Janith, the mid lane, is the one who bought the roam item, Redemption.
Yeah, it was all about sustain, right? Hong Kong, China were able to just, again, take some damage and then just... I think that Shinshan did a good job of just ensuring that they had that sustain so that the team fights could continue. Plus, they have burst and the control from everything that you needed. Just a really good draft by Hong Kong, China.
And Sun Ki is still the heart of the team thus far on those farm lane picks. You can see the damage output similar to that channel game previously. Very clean stuff overall from the Hong Kong China. Although we did see some blunders coming from Sinzan in the early game invasion, but I think it's still okay because Sinzan traded himself, but he got the Crimson Golem into the pockets of the side of Kahin. So I think that's a work.
खाते रहते हो क्या? हाँ भाई तभी तो पता नहीं होता यार, तभी तो पता नहीं हो रहा भाई।
We have a few mistakes early on, but I agree with
you. जब भाई ऐसे ही भाई हम खाते ही रहता हूँ।
I also think that other teams might be watching and they might.
तभी तो पता नहीं हो रहा यार।
How to?
बहुत बुरी आदत है खाते रहने की। चलते रहने चाहिए मुँह।
Pretty sure this is.
या बातें करता रहता हूँ या खाता रहता हूँ। तभी मैं बीच में बहुत सा च्युइंगम खाने लगा था कि भाई मेरे को मुँह चलता रहेगा ठीक रहेगा। मेरी भूख नहीं मिटती है पता नहीं क्यों, मेरा पेट कोई भरता ही नहीं है। I can just go on eating and eating and eating.
So, I mean, when you're watching that though, I'm like, that's not...
Buffet वालों के लिए तो भाई मैं वो हूँ।
It's hard to kind of
Nightmare.
get specific items. Maybe, you know, like the movements and things like that. You're not really getting too much because
Unlimited buffet होता है ना, वहाँ पे लोग डर जाते हैं कि
a little bit
मैं
of
आ
a
गया।
shorter game, right? You need them to play a little bit longer and to kind of sustain and not have a gold grab that just completely shifts in, of course, Hong Kong, China's favor.
I think the better thing to observe when you're watching Hong Kong, China games is not your own
लेकिन भाई शुरू से लेकर end तक
that's a fact.
ग्राफ shows कि भाई they are always in advantage.
How are they playing?
Always in advantage
Sure,
भाई।
you can see some takedowns being traded left and right in the first game. Those 3 takedowns.
कहीं मौका ही नहीं दिया।
And that one takedown over to the idea, just not in the red side jungle. But these are the things that Hong Kong China does.
मौका ही नहीं दिया भाई।
You take those takedowns. We take the objectives and we still build the gold lead.
Overlord एक आया बस श्रीलंका के पास, 2 टैलेंट ले गए वो।
realm where you see another team going against Hong Kong China, it's more
टावर 7 ले गए, 2 टावर ले पाए।
You need more skirmishes.
गोल्ड 41 के यहाँ 28,000।
Ultimately, I think it all goes down back towards Hong Kong China's macro because their macro is just insanely good, stupidly good that I think everyone needs to learn the way they rotate, the way they
rotation
so quickly and not waste
भाई ये जो लैंड पे जाते हैं तब रहते और ट्रैवल खर्चा कौन देता है रिस्पेक्टिव और क्या क्राफ्टन मेरे भाई क्राफ्टन ट्रैवल से लेके रहना आपका सब क्राफ्टन देखते हैं खाना पीना सब कुछ वो पूरे टाइम में आपका कुछ खर्चा नहीं होगा खाना रहना सब क्राफ्टन एवरीथिंग बफे होता है खाने के लिए हाँ अब अनटिल आपको कुछ अलग से खाने का बने तो आप बाहर से मंगाओ और कई बार तो वो भी रिइंबर्स जाता है
mobility, they're just
jumping on top खाते रह जाओगे अरे कल तुम डेट पे जाते नहीं भाई तभी तो डेट पे आते नहीं I'll date a girl जिसको खाना बनाना तो बताओ वो खाना बनाते रहे कि मैं खाता रहूँगा बस तरह अरे डेथ नोट यार आज देखेंगे ज़रूर से मैं अभी थोड़ा सा थका हुआ हूँ ये ख़त्म करके मैं पहले थोड़ी देर लेटूंगा फिर जिम जाऊँगा आज मैं ना जिम रोज़ जा रहा हूँ 7:30 बजे रात में यार तो 7:30 नहीं 8 बजे जा रहा हूँ तो दिक्कत आती है देर जाती है तो आज मैं ट्राई करूँगा अभी जाके आधा घंटा सो जाऊँ है ना और आधा घंटा सोने के बाद फिर मैं 5 तो नहीं जा पाऊंगा तब भी 5:30 तक आज जिम चल जाऊँ 5:30 तक आज जिम चल जाऊँ, 5:30 जाऊँगा, 6:30 7 तक आ जाऊँगा वापस, 7 तक आ जाऊँगा तो फिर भाई थोड़ा बहुत काम है वो सब खत्म कर लूँगा, रील्स का सॉर्ट कर लूँगा, और हो सकेगा तो 8-9 तक एक बार लाइव करके डेथ नोट देख पाएंगे। क्योंकि देखो आई कैन नॉट मेक मनी ऑन वॉचिंग डेथ नोट। किक ने सीधा कह दिया कि पैसा नहीं मिलेगा इसका। मैं बोला ठीक है मुझे पैसा नहीं चाहिए, बट देखूंगा तो तुम्हारे प्लेटफॉर्म पे ही, क्योंकि यूट्यूब पे तो कर नहीं सकते, और देखूंगा लॉन्डो के साथ ही। परेशान होके गाली देगी आपको, इससे तो भाई 4-5 लड़कियां पटाओ ना यार। ब्रेकफास्ट कोई एक बना के दे देगी, लंच किसी और के यहाँ हो जाएगा, डिनर कहीं और हो जाएगा, शाम के इवनिंग स्नैक्स कहीं और हो जाएंगे, समझे? दिन में एक टाइम आऊंगा तो कोई परेशान नहीं होगी। बेस्ट है कि नहीं आप बताओ, दिक्कत कहाँ आ रही है बताओ, मैं ऐसे सॉल्व कर दूंगा। दिक्कत बताओ, आप दिक्कत बताओ, गुप्त रोग है वो भी सॉल्व कर दूंगा, आप दिक्कत बताओ, सब सॉल्व कर दूंगा, सबका इलाज है। आप बताओ को दिक्कत क्या आ रही है, ये आप बस मुझे बताओ दिक्कत कहाँ आ रही है, कृपा बरसेगी अभी और सब ठीक हो जाएगा आपका।
to do what they don't do, and trying to get on top of that, where again they're also moving very fluidly. It's a tough situation for any team, and why? I mean, even Hong Kong, China, like they look so good here.
Yeah, there's a gap.
They look so good
is
here.
Extremely small. The window is too small for them to actually try to exploit anything out of that. But sure, definitely a very amazing game coming from Hong Kong, China. I'm sorry about that. But I do think that the wound is out. The wound is open, so everyone can smell the wound pain. So maybe they do know that Hong Kong, China actually has a weakness. Maybe they can try to exploit that.
Okay, first off, gross. The wound smell, I don't want that, okay? I think we can come up with any other analogy. Now I can't unsmell that, right? But I think that it's still, it definitely was there, right? I think that the teams are aware that the wound is
शादी क्यों करनी है? डिवोर्स के टाइम आपको कंगाल कर देगी।
Yeah, it means there's a
शादी थोड़ी करूंगा भाई, डिवोर्स हो। और दूसरी बात, सारी प्रॉपर्टी मम्मी के नाम पे लेके रखूंगा। अब बताओ कैसे कंगाल करेंगे? सब कुछ माता श्री के नाम पे होगा हमारे। अब बताओ प्रॉब्लम बताओ, ऐसे सॉल्व कर दूंगा। दिक्कत कहाँ आ रही है तुम्हें भाई? अब बताओ, तुमने पाजी गई, आपको ठीक हो गई? हाँ भाई ठीक हो गई, कोक जी ने ठीक कर दिया। बताओ दिक्कत कहाँ आ रही है? जी बताओ कहाँ दिक्कत आ रही है? कर दिया ना सॉर्ट। पहली चीज शादी करनी नहीं, और दूसरा प्रॉपर्टी वॉपर्टी को अपने नाम पे रखनी नहीं है, सब मम्मी के नाम पे रखना है। लोन लेके रखूंगा अपने नाम पे सारे, और बंदी के नाम पे भी लोन ले लूंगा, उसके नाम पे लोन ले लूंगा। कि जाओगी तो फिर लोन भरते रहना। बताओ है कि नहीं बढ़िया? दिक्कत आ कहाँ रही है भाई आपको? आपकी एनालॉजी थोड़ी वीक है, आप क्रोनोलॉजी हमारी समझिए।
Lanka still has a chance at the end of the day.
It's gonna be a tough
Where there's a
road.
will, there's a way, right?
Impossible here, but something good for
Yeah,
our viewers
nothing
at
is
home
impossible.
here. Do spectate to claim the commemorative badge on June 21. It can be used in the Grand Venture, and more rewards will await you in Heroes Gorge and Honor of Kings. So mark your calendars down, and we will see you there.
Definitely a lot of
तेल
rewards
लगाइए,
waiting out there for you.
ऐसे
And
उठा
today
के
there's a lot of updates,
तेल।
right? So
Correct.
don't forget to open up your
Sorted.
UK, update them, and try out all the new things that's available.
हाँ अपडेट है ना,
So
अपडेट
yeah,
भी
that's
चेक करते
exactly
हैं।
what I'm gonna do after this.
Yeah, exactly, Kira. But you know what? Let's do save the talk and throw it over to Mara to check out who will she be interviewing coming in as the representative coming in from Hong Kong, China after that spectacular win. Take it away, Mara.
Samki gets double MVP from Team Hong Kong, China. Congratulations.
Double MVP.
How happy were you with that double MVP?
好開心，好開心可以攞到MVP。
Yeah, really happy.
You were spectacular. And we noticed such a great combo with this Angela Dayadia, and that it gave your team incredible mobility and pressure on the map. What makes this pairing so great with your system?
我哋知道呢兩隻英
What makes this pairing that it gave your team incredible mobility and pressure on the map? What makes this pairing so great with your system?
मैं कहा लाडली सिस्टम ही सिस्टम है हमारा, तो हम तो जहाँ उतरते हैं मार के ही आते हैं। एलिस भाई ने सिखाया जहाँ बंदा मिले गोभी खोद दो।
भैया जी कह रहे हैं कि फुल सिस्टम हम हैक कर देंगे। भैया जी का कहना है कि अगली बार जब हम आएंगे तब भी हांगकांग का झंडा सबसे ऊपर गाड़ के जाएंगे। और भैया जी कह रहे हैं कि सिस्टम।
Notice that's so great about Hong Kong, China is that you guys were able to recover really fast. Usually other teams, when they make mistakes, they lose momentum in the game. So when things don't go your way, how does Hong Kong, China adapt really well? Who takes charge to make sure that the team resets fast?
हमारे सारे जाट भाई एक साथ आते हैं। जितनी भी बार दिक्कत हुई है सारे भाई सोंटी मोनू पपलू सबको अपने साथ बुलाया। हमने बोला कि गैंग फाइट करेंगे।
भैया जी कह रहे हैं कि देखो लड़ाई झगड़ा तो चलता रहता है, कभी उनकी जीत होती है कभी हमारी हार होती है, लेकिन इस बार हम सोच कहते हैं कि हम जीत के जाएंगे और सिस्टम पाड़ देंगे। जो भी आएगा सामने उन सबकी गोभी खोद देंगे। और भैया जी कह रहे हैं जय हरियाणा।
Really great communication. Now, a lot of people are watching. What would you like to say to everybody and invite them to watch you for your upcoming match?
जितने भी एलिस भाई के फैन है सारे हमारे को सपोर्ट करने आओ और बाकी हरियाणा ऑन टॉप और सिस्टम भी हैंग कर देंगे जितने आ रहे हैं। आ जाओ।
Our efforts and then to make more great games.
And what a great game that was. Once again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we're going to head back to our casters. Lead the gorge.
Lead the gorge. मजा आता है lead the gorge.
Thanks so much, Sunki, and also Mara for the interview.
आप तो प्रोफेशनल साउंड कर रहे हो। अरे
really, I mean, he didn't really directly give advice, but it's more on so like Mara asked.
है क्या कोई आपके नजर में भाई? हमारे नजर में रेशमा आंटी बेस्ट रहेंगी आपके लिए।
And Sunki was like, you know, it's about us reminding each other of what we need to do next.
लड़की से बात कैसे करें?
On the previous play.
भाई देखिए, अगर आप नॉर्मली बात करने जाएंगे तो आप पैनिक हो सकते हैं और आप गलत शब्द कह सकते हो। तो आप इशारों में बात करें, जाके कहें कि ए आ ओ, और फिर इशारों में उन्हें समझाएं कि मैं तुम्हारे साथ डेट पे जाना चाहता हूँ, ऐसे करके। अगर वो मान गई तो बढ़िया, सिस्टम सेट। नहीं मानी तो भाई किसी ऐसे गूंगे को मार थोड़ी सकती है, वो अच्छा थोड़ी लगेगा। तो देख रहे हैं आप, मार खान से भी बच गए और सेट होगी तो बहुत बढ़िया। खेलो दिमाग से, कबड्डी है ये। समझे? चलो भाई भाइयों, अब आई थिंक इट्स टाइम टू एंड द स्ट्रीम। मैचेस तो हो गए बढ़िया, मजा आ गया। अब चलते हैं स्ट्रीम एंड करते हैं क्योंकि नाउ इट्स टाइम टू गो एंड स्लीप थोड़ा सा। रेशमा आंटी से बात करा दूंगा मैं आपकी। डिवोर्सी हैं वो, 3 बच्चे हैं उनके, एक तो आपकी उम्र का ही होगा। बताइए, सिस्टम सेट करा दूंगा आपका। भाई क्या मस्त लग रही है नई बियर्ड यार मेरे पे। आई एम इन लव विद दिस न्यू बियर्ड यार, मस्त लग रही है मेरी बियर्ड। मेरे को बहुत पसंद आई मेरी बियर्ड। देखो मार तो सकती है वो, ऐसे कैसे आप ऐसे कर देना एकदम कि मार कैसे किया मुझे, चिल्लाने लग जाना, सब जमा हो जाएंगे आपके सपोर्ट में। चलो भाइयों, नाउ इट्स टाइम टू गो। मिलते हैं आपसे अगर क्या करेंगे, शाम में स्ट्रीम करें डेथ नोट की तो किक पे। डन। चलो फिर बाय बाय। तो कैमरे से छूटू साथ एकदम से। बाय बाय क्यूडीज, बाय बाय। ये डोला कल तुम्हारे भाई ने मारा है, बढ़िया भाई। आज लेग्स मारने यार, इसीलिए और मन नहीं कर रहा जिम जाने को कि लेग्स मारने पड़ेंगे। चलो भाइयों, बाय बाय।
What does perfect even mean? Is there even such a thing? Ooh, can we switch up all the rules and imagine a utopia Darling, I'm just so fed up with these expectations. They keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm gonna live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa, whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to see. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. 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 Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Disgusted with myself, and I'm disgusted with the way we're told to have a certain face. I stood and wait because we aren't pixels on a screen. No, we're human, we breathe. Every single thing we see curated, it's overrated. These expectations, they keep weighing me down. My heart is begging me to get the hell out of my head. I'm trying to live inside the upside down for a minute and pretend. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. And if I say it enough, it gets ingrained in my head, and I start to think. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. Whoa. Honey, I'm a perfect 10. 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 Oh.
On my own, but I don't know why you hit the road, but you don't realize I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back. 'Cause I won't look back. I won't look back. On my own, and I don't know why. She told me it's not your fault, but you don't realize that I never wonder what's the truth in your eyes. There's a light that makes me blush. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back when you're around. I won't think twice when you're gone. Don't hesitate to call me back, 'cause I won't be there. I won't look back. I can feel it somewhere inside, haunting like a drug I keep on wanting. There's a love that fits so perfect, it's hard to believe. There's a reason I can feel my heart stop beating, and the air gets tough just breathing. I'm alone, but I'm still feeling like someone's with me. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me, like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there. Time is unfair, 'cause I know you're out there somewhere, patient, waiting unaware, feeling like your grip might slip too soon. But I'm running, chasing speed and gunning. I'll be right there all of a sudden. I feel your heartbeat lead me straight to you. It's strange, I know, but I feel like you're here with me. It's like chasing ghosts. I know you're out there. about you.